We're back.
We're back.
It's been a minute since Eleanor's always. Where are you? Where have you been?
I go on the road. I was working in Tampa.
I didn't want to say that
splitters.
in case you're scared of home invasions.
Oh, yeah. You guys can come in my apartment if you want.
You live in a huge mansion. I don't want you to be targeted like pro athletes.
Yeah. I mean, they might want to come in and take some of my ribbons and stuff because I'm just a little girl who keeps ribbons all over. Pigtails. I forgot to put ribbons in.
So did I.
I was getting a lot of looks driving here. Very
they
exciting.
can see your whole attire? What do you mean a lot of? You just have a glass side door?
I'm cutting people off and giving them looks, and I'm like, oh, shit, I have pigtails in. That doesn't look tough.
In L.A., though, that's not. You don't look that out of the ordinary.
True, L.A., but there were some like guys that were like, the fuck? She just cut me off, and she has pigtails? What is this?
Speaking, I mean, you're not any weirder than the guy who let us in the building today.
Wait a minute. You saw it?
He let me in.
Why was he weird? Wait,
he's wearing
that guy wasn't
he's wearing like a 1990s bucket hat, like he's going to Olympus.
He didn't
concert.
open the door for me.
Oh, okay.
I saw him. He was doing something, but the other kid.
Pink swimming goggles on the hat.
I did not see. His back was to me.
I was like, is there a swim rave in here that I don't know about? It was a very interesting.
You would join in.
Yeah, I was like, where is he going?
It's a big deal. Maybe there's a swimming pool in here.
I don't want to make fun of him. They could maybe prescription goggles for reading.
Is that a
why wear
Wait a minute.
goggles?
There are such a thing as prescription goggles.
For swimming? Or for reading?
I think for swimming. Yeah.
In case you're reading while you're swimming?
To see under the water or to if you go scuba diving, things like that.
You don't want to hit the wall.
Right. You can't wear your glasses under. That would be awful.
Glasses?
Glasses. I've been in Philly for a couple days.
Jeez. Brought it back with you.
You can't wear your glasses.
Brought that trash back with you. I can smell it.
I think I told you this before, but my mom heard me talking trash or just talking to somebody in Dr. Baldino's office. And
the infamous Dr. Baldino. He's on the show often. Head to Dr. Baldino's in Philadelphia for your eye, foot, pediatric.
But no, remember I was talking to the girl, and once I started talking to somebody from Philly, it came back real hard, and my mom went, "Look who reverted back to type."
She just shook her head.
She catches me all the time.
She say, "I'm not mad. I'm disappointed."
Yes, always with the way she said, "Look who reverted back to type."
Speaking of which, and swimming, you were a lifeguard, correct?
Yes.
At a puddle in Philadelphia.
No, shut your mouth. It was a public pool. Right at Barry Playground, and no, what's funny? We were just talking about Steve Simone, who came and did a guest spot in Tampa. It was so much fun to hang out with him. He brought me lasagna. It was very exciting. His mom made meatballs and lasagna, and he brought me some.
On like a plate or like in the tray?
In like a little
Tupperware.
Yeah, kind of thing. Wow. But it was like a throwaway Tupperware.
Okay.
Or whatever. So anyway, he was telling me that he met this lady in South Philly. And she's a little older, and so he offered her a ride home. They were coming out of church, and he was like, she goes, "Oh, I live in Packer Park." And as they were driving down Broad Street, she was giving him like a play-by-play of everybody. And he goes, "By chance, do you know Eleanor Kerrigan?" She goes, "Yeah, she was the lifeguard at Barry Playground. I know Eleanor."
Did she take him by it?
Yes. No, you can't go that way. If to Packer Park, go the other way.
So I go to a public swimming pool in the summer. I took baby Barb yesterday.
They're the best.
This place I've gone to.
Do you get a chemical test and make sure the chlorine's right?
No,
but you should. In a public, you should.
These lifeguards.
Just FYI.
And I grew up swimming. I learned to swim at the Y as a baby. I was on swim teams. Deep in the swimming culture. This is the most militant pool.
Really?
I've ever been to. These lifeguards are. I don't know why they train them this way.
Could have been like us.
They have the old school cheerleading megaphones.
Ooh. Okay, that's a little bizarro.
So, and a lot of people where I live is a pretty heavily Asian area.
Okay.
So there's a language barrier and so many rules. And so they're yelling rules, and these people, you can tell, just don't know what they're saying.
Oh, shit.
They want baby Barb because she's under 6. I need to stay an arm's length away from her at all times.
I believe that. I agree with that.
She was holding onto the wall. In water, she can touch. She can stand clearly, and I was like, I don't know, 4 feet away, and they're like, "Hey, you need an arm's length apart." I was like, "What?"
I'm with them. It only takes a second. You know that.
But then why? That's their job.
True, but
most pools will let a kid in by themselves with no parent. So I was like, okay.
We had that. I was the babysitter, but we were very militant.
Arms
and
like, so maybe you train these
we
people.
were pretty bad, but we didn't have the bullhorn. We had whistles. We were loud. The greatest thing I ever did while I wasn't a lifeguard yet. My older sister Karen's a lifeguard. She's 10 years older than me. 10. Speaking of pigtails, I can get away with being young or old, whatever I want. And so 10 years older, my brother Billy's in the pool. Karen, my sister, has to go to the bathroom. My mom lives across the street.
Just go in the pool.
No. She goes, come up here, put this hat on, put this whistle on, put these glasses on, and pretend you're me. I got to go to the bathroom. So I go, fine. Now, I'm a goon. I'm tall.
Is that how you got the job?
Pretty much.
You just stayed?
So I'm walking around the pool like my sister, paying attention, doing what I got to do, because my sister will kick my ass if I mess up, right? I see my brother Billy. I blow the whistle. I go, get out. And I always do impressions of my sister because she's a little overly animated. Get out. You're out for the summer. Get out, right? And Billy goes home to my mother's house. He's crying. He's like, Karen kicked me out of the pool for the whole summer. And he's sobbing.
He didn't know the difference between you and your sister?
Nope.
How old was he?
We were probably 10
He was
or
10?
11. So Karen's 21 at this point. I just want you to know how elderly.
Has your brother ever been tested?
I had glasses. I had a hat. I had a whistle. Same bathing suit. We had the same bathing suit because she did that for the swim team. She bought us. She bought us finals bathing suits.
Really threw your brother off with that costume.
And by the way, she's 21 and we're still built the same, just tall, thin, titless. And so Billy goes, he's crying in the kitchen. My mother goes, why? Why did she? And then Karen came out of the bathroom and he went, fucking Eleanor. And he chased me for 3 days.
So was he allowed back?
Of course.
The band didn't stand?
He chased me for 3 days. Like Karen was like, let me get my stuff first. And then she got her whistle and her thing. We changed the guards and I had to climb the fence and go in the outfield because
I got in trouble yesterday for jumping in the water holding baby Barb's hand off the side.
Yeah, no jumping.
Why?
No jumping.
No, jumping's allowed. No hand holding was the problem.
That's a very nice pool. We had no jumping, no horseplay.
What the fuck?
No, not because it was wild Indian kids. No, that's terrible things. You know what I mean? They always say wild Indians, but
I thought you meant from India.
No, like wild, kids. Like my mom would always say, they're wild Indians. You know, whatever. It's probably racist. I'm sorry.
Your family's.
I know how these kids were. No parents were around. Right.
This is all you have to be with them.
Not in our pool.
But this pool, these rules are no reason.
The parents would bring them over and then go do errands sometime. Some would stay. Most would leave. So the kids were on their own. These were latchkey kids. They were out and about.
Yesterday, one of the lifeguards jumped in a panic to save a kid, but I don't know if it was warranted. I didn't see the situation, but it was crazy. It was this Asian.
Scary.
I think it was a grandpa. And I saw this girl earlier was like walking along the wall, but could barely. I was like,
wow,
barely swim. But he kept losing sight of her. He had like 4 or 5 kids with him. And she was all the way like on the other side of the pool where the lane line is, where people were doing laps, and the lifeguard just jumps in.
Oh, they have people doing laps? You can't do that.
Why?
Because you can only do that during adult swim. There's no kids.
Man, you're more militant, I think.
We're terrible. Yeah.
Jeez.
People hated it. We also had Boys' Day and Girls' Day.
Why is that?
It was separate. Too many kids.
People hooking up in the pool?
No, it's just too many kids.
So why not
We did have one little kid that used Johnny Drains, but he was a little handicapped. And
Johnny Drains? Was he draining his balls? What's he draining? Johnny Drains.
He would play with the drains, and then he'd be like, Eleanor, come here. He definitely has like a form of autism or something. But his parents didn't know what to do with him. And so
somebody should have stayed an arm's length apart.
They would come, and he had younger siblings. They would come, but it was a lot. Like, so we would be like, he's fine, but he would just play with the drains. Like, he would watch them drain out, and he would literally fix them. Like, we didn't need a plumber, anybody. Like, we didn't have to call anybody if it got backed up.
Does he own Johnny Drains now?
He should
as a plumber.
He should.
By the way, if you want to go on the diving board at this place, you have to do a swim test, and you have to do it every time.
Good. Diving board.
You have to do laps.
That's risky.
You have to do laps. Why are you so? What are you? Insurance company?
It's a city pool.
So what?
The city's responsible.
Sue the city. If I jump in with my holding hands and something crazy happens, which it won't.
We had a baseball field behind us, so me and my sister made signs. Me and my sister and this guy, Georgie Martin, R.I.P., and we made these signs so the dirt wouldn't come in, but they were like this high, And we put all the rules on there. No horseplay, no diving, no jump.
Jeez.
But giant. We made it giant. And then people would jump in and I go, you can't read? And they'd be like, no, I can't read. Oh, wow. Okay, wow, that's weird. That was weird.
Way too strict.
We had to be.
There was there's a guy on the spectrum
I'm
by
not even going to
himself.
say
This
who
guy
ran
like
the
in
pool.
the 30s.
Go ahead.
Not in his 30s, not from the 30s.
Okay.
And he came up to us and he was just like staring at us, like right up on us. This is when the whole family was there. And he's looking at baby Bob, who's pretty shy around strangers. And he's like, I'm going to get you. And baby Bob just like buried his head in Courtney, like, please make this stop.
Don't let that guy
Then
get
he's doing
me,
it to
please.
baby Barb. And she's like, Dad, let's go. Let's move out of here. Let's go to a different area. That's allowed. Harassment.
That's weird. No harassment.
This
No, I'm
place
kidding.
is
Can you imagine if
this
we
place
wrote
is militant
that?
about swim shirts.
We
If
had
you wear a
this fight,
t-shirt,
too.
if you wear a t-shirt,
No
they
t-shirts.
lose it.
No t-shirts.
The lifeguard ran after a guy into the baby pool because he had a t-shirt. Like, sir, like, what's gonna happen?
I watched my sister not torment, but it was like people would try to like break the rules, and she's like insanely strong, and she pushed a whole family out because they wouldn't listen to her rule. They were trying to bring the coach in. They were trying to bring like, snacks in. She's like, no. And then they were like, you can't tell us what to do. And she was like, oh, fuck if I can't.
Was
She
this
pushed
from
them right out.
management or is this just you guys?
No, this was from management.
The management
Listen,
wants strict
you either
rules.
deal with us or you deal with Mr. Cap. And that's up to you.
What's Mr.
He
Cap,
ran
like a
the
mafia
playground.
man?
That's none of my business, but he ran the playground.
He's like, what hand do you use?
Andy
What hand do you use
Capuano.
on the swings? And he hits you with a hammer in the back room.
He was also a math teacher, I believe. I think it was math. If I mess this up, I'm sure my brother Johnny will text me. But
He's
it's
a big
okay.
fan, by the way.
Big fan.
Shout
Thanks,
out to
John.
Johnny.
Yes. And
my parents listen to an episode. We have at least 3 listeners.
yeah, and we get a lot of criticism.
Yeah, my
from
parents had
family
some.
members.
My parents had some criticism.
Yeah, they're not correcting your stories. I'm
No.
getting my stories corrected.
Well, I'm sure you'll get.
So
some
I'll get
correction.
yelled at by Mr. Cap. Wasn't algebra or math, whatever. So, but it was all boys high school, and he used to rip a phone book in half, and he goes, "I dare you to mess with me." Like that was his opening.
That's not based on strength, though. That's all technique. That's what they say.
You want to tell him that?
I mean, I can't rip
We'll
a
fight
phone.
you right now.
That's for
And
me,
he's passed away.
Who
He
can't
will
rip a
still
phone
fight
book
you.
in half? I can barely rip my junk mail in half.
So we did whatever Mr. Cap told us to do.
All right, well,
Or if we
you
had,
should come to this pool.
you had a
Maybe
problem
maybe
with-
you'll get maybe this will be a new job for you. You can come out of
True.
retirement.
I could bring Mr. Cap. Unfortunately, passed away, but maybe Joe Carapucci's still alive. I don't know.
You can scream at Asian people.
He was the bigger boss.
They have things in the.
Scream at Asian people.
They have like the baby pool is like a splash pad. You know what I mean? With like.
Of course.
So there's a thing where you can spin it. Like
Yeah.
yesterday out of nowhere. This is the first I've heard of this. Do not spin the equipment. For what? What is that gonna do? Why? What's that rule?
I
No
that
justification.
part I don't know.
Don't spin it.
Will it fall off?
No, I don't
Will
think
it
it will.
unhinge?
I don't think it will.
I mean, these lifeguards sound a little unhinged. But
Yes, militant. One lady's wearing a happy birthday tiara. I go, happy birthday. Lady was put off. Don't wear the fucking tiara if you don't want a happy birthday. And she was dealing with me. Like, she checked me in because they do a wristband system on kids.
Oh my.
Baby Barb's a blue, which means the arm length.
So once they know she knows how to swim.
Or she's like of it. Like, no, it's just age. It's like if she's 6 or above, then
okay.
she's free to drown by herself.
Yeah, but could you lie and change her?
Oh, I
age?
have. I'm like, she's 16. And then I just drop her off and I go home. Oh, man.
It's a good segue to get into it, you think?
Real quick, though, I was at
Oh.
the public library the other day, too.
Okay.
I walk out. My kids wanted to go see the fountain. 2 kids swimming in the fountain with their mother.
Mexican?
I don't know.
Oh,
The
I
mother
love
shot Courtney a look like, what? What are you looking at? These kids are swimming. It's their pool. They had
I'm
toys.
with the Mexicans.
They
I
had
would have been in there too.
Oh, my God. You know how filthy that water is? I felt like throwing some coins at them.
You could
Make a wish.
They would. They might have liked it. Like, oh, we're lucky now. I don't know.
You'd swim in a
How-
public fountain?
No, we fucked around.
Your
in there,
boyfriend
though.
from the Comedy Store, Crispy Chicken, ex-open mic
That was
comic.
how he bathed.
He was a legend. He was shot by the LAPD.
was.
He survived.
Was he rubber bullets or real ones?
He got buckshot.
Buckshot, that's right.
He
That's right. I knew it
survived.
was something weird like.
He was on a Dodgers telecast once. He was in prison once. He was calling in the Comedy Store from
The best was when he used to use the wheelchair, but not use the wheelchair.
Oh, he had a wooden
So good.
wheelchair that was from like the 1920s.
It was tremendous.
He also had a hernia where one of his balls was the size of like a Nerf football.
And
but
he would always show it.
And he would wear leather pants, so he had no choice but to show it.
Well, I'm thinking jeans. I didn't see the leather. The leather would have really.
I'm
made
talking
it nice.
legit. It was crazy.
Swollen.
Yeah.
He showed it. It looked like a pregnant belly.
But he used to bathe in the fountain at the hotel.
Maybe that's how his nuts swelled
right
up.
next to the Comedy Store, right on Sunset Boulevard.
I don't know. So this fountain, it's like this deep.
Yes.
Okay.
But there's like a nice cascading part in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the Grove, they have one in Hollywood.
Kids,
That's nice. I would go
you got to
in
get there
that.
early to take a swim with your family.
I would go in that one.
You should teach lessons.
Guys, kick your feet, paddle kick.
You have kickboards and you have all your gear. You just bring it in. It's like the trainers who work in the parks.
I would do it.
All right, sign
I
up.
love it.
That'll
Let's get these kids
keep you in
started.
town so we can record podcasts. Let's get to the main event, shall we?
The main event is...
This is a recommendation from Jason Tebow.
Oh, Tebow.
Of Punch Drunk Sports. He told me to check this out.
Okay.
The Teeb.
The Teeb.
And I also texted Galern about this.
For some reason, I was thinking Galern. But
I don't
now
know. Maybe
remember.
one of them went to the other one. I don't know.
Got it.
But,
Tebow,
thank
though,
you,
I could
Teeb.
see him watching this. Teebs, you probably enjoyed this a little too much.
This is called The Curious Case of
Benjamin
Natalia.
Buttons. Oh, no.
How dare you? Of Natalia Grace.
Well, it's a play on that, isn't it?
Which is weird, though, because they never mention at one time that this lady's middle name is Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Never. So they're just like, hey, we got a rhyme here. Yeah.
Interesting.
But this was originally on ID.
No, what is that? I keep hearing this.
I think it's like a true crime channel. They do like.
Okay.
But you can tell because we saw this on HBO Max.
Yeah, Max.
But
Just Max.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get weird.
Excuse me.
Try to be a little hipper.
Excuse me.
It's just Max.
Rest in peace to HBO Max.
R.I.P. HBO.
So, but you could tell this was on something that was like commercial cuts.
Yeah.
They would do recaps when they came back from those.
FYI, it really is only on Max because I have HBO regular, like cable, because I'm elderly. I still have cable. And
What's the difference? I don't get the difference.
I couldn't get it on my TV. Like, I had to watch it again on my computer.
Not sure.
Interesting.
This is a 6-parter in case you want to watch it. 42 minutes each, I think, around there.
Half a legal pad on this
Yeah,
idiot.
there's a lot. This is a barn burner.
And when I say this idiot, I don't mean Natalia. We'll get into it.
Oh, man, this family.
What?
It starts out with the father who is clearly... This is A Star is Born. I'm not talking about your friend Andrew Dice Clay's movie with Bradley Cooper. This is A Star is Born. From
This is a new Star is Born. And every reality documentary producer is rubbing one out to this idiot right now.
They're like, how do we not find him? This guy's name is Michael Barnett. They open up with him, and he seems instantly just manic in this interview.
If you're is he still in Indiana?
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere? Okay, so if he starts doing a one-man show, go see it. Because the acting.
We should direct. We should get in touch with
that'd
him.
be a good idea. Let's produce his one.
His interviews
show.
are great. He's just like, so we saw Natalia.
I love that you're dressed as him.
Yeah, he the sweater, because they started in 2019, a lot of the interviews. Then they cut to 2022, but I think they were waiting for his trial to go through.
Right, because
2022 they show him in the actual trial.
Yeah. But in the interviews he's a little heavier.
Yes.
I noticed it. Are you proud of me?
He would switch his facial hair too.
Yes, and then his outfit, like he was suited up, and then
2019, then he went sweater,
and there was weird green boxes behind. I don't know what that room was.
He was in
like
a closet.
A rubber room. Yeah. Oh, he's in the closet, all right.
He's majorly in the
this
closet.
Guy's living in the closet.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but he talks about how crazy horny he was for his wife later.
Well, it was by force, but yes. She forced him. She forced him. That was his conversion therapy.
So it's the Barnett family. They live in some suburbs of Indiana.
Yeah.
People said they had the perfect life.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, like a lot of these documentaries, they throw the kitchen sink at you. I was like, what the hell? What was that?
Because like the opening.
They just throw it's like Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious. You're like, whoa, what?
I didn't even realize it didn't start yet. And he was like, we were all abused. And I'm like, calm down.
He screams, we were all abused. Then they're like, all right, let's cut back. And then they like slow it back down to like,
right.
They give you the kind of the sizzle reel. So this is Westfield, Indiana, if you want to go visit the Barnetts. He says, my life was fantastic in the summer of 2010.
Right.
They have 3 sons. Jacob is the only son featured in this. He's on the spectrum. I think he has Asperger's. Is that right?
I think so. But I feel like because of everything I watched,
You're unsure?
I feel like they diagnosed him and he was never fully diagnosed by somebody. He just happens to be smart.
But if you watch this, you can kind of...
And a little nerdy. But it's slight. It's so slight. I'll introduce him to Johnny Drains. It's a big difference. A big difference.
Does he live with you? You're like, hey, it's Johnny Drains.
He still lives in my mother's neighborhood. I see him all the time.
He's still working on the drains? Fixing
Probably.
sewers?
Yeah. He used to tell me all about the storms that were coming in. Long story. So anyway.
2010, the Barnetts have a new McMansion, a Lamborghini.
What is McMansion?
It's, I don't know.
Middle? It's like small? Medium?
No, it's like
McDonald's.
It's like they're all the same. It's
usually like low quality materials, but big extravagant. But it's
when he said that, I was like,
they serve
a McMansion.
They have French fries. Grimace.
Ronald McDonald comes
Happy
in
birthday
every once in a while.
Happy birthday to Grimace, by the way. They have a Lamborghini.
It's Grimace's birthday.
What?
How do you know it's Grimace's birthday?
It's
You're just
online.
Skip
it's the
over
big
that?
online craze. They have purple milkshakes, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Okay.
You're on TikTok. Everyone's making these stupid Grimace milkshake TikTok videos.
Oh, I did not notice that.
You're the
I've been watching.
You're the youngest girl on TikTok. They have I don't know. I looked up what Michael Barnett did. It said he was like a regional manager for like Circuit City. Where's the Lamborghini? Where's that coming in? He has 13 TVs. Not sure why he counted or that we care. And 14 couches. What kind of house is this?
Constantly labeling 14 couches, 1 million TVs, this, that, and the other thing. Why? What kind of description?
The house didn't look that big, so I think some of the rooms had like 8 couches.
Yeah.
Just all couches, and you just walk over them.
When they said
the house wasn't huge. I mean, it was big, but it wasn't huge.
No. Where did they put all these TVs? Were there 2 in each room?
You know what he left off, and we'll get to it later, is a movie popcorn machine. He has one of those, at least, maybe more.
But was he talking about, that's in the
2010.
now house.
No.
Is that the same house?
No, the original house. Remember, he moves.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So as I was like, wait, the popcorn machine's in the new one.
Yeah, but I think it was in the old one. It's not like he just bought a popcorn machine. He said that was their thing. The wife is Christine. He says, Christine and I, we could do anything together. And he's referencing Jake, their oldest kid, is Asperger's, and they create this like foundation. I didn't really get what it was. It was like for people to hang out with it, like families to go hang out if they had autism. Or...
If I'm gonna get ahead of myself, I'm gonna say these people manipulate and they lie a lot, and so sometimes people start these. This is what I'm saying with the kid. I feel like it's fake, not on the kid's part. He's just a smart, a little bit nerdy kid. I don't think he has anything wrong with him, but they figured out a way to make money.
I think this
Lamborghini money.
I think this is where the money comes in, and then the wife wrote a book about her and the son's relation and like dealing with the son's autism. Or
and then she opened a daycare for this?
Something like that. Or this place. I didn't really get what the place was. They showed it. It just looked like
was at her house.
No, but the foundation looked like a like a building. I didn't really get what it was.
It was probably the same building where they adopted this young lady.
The kid Jacob is a genius. They said he loved reciting pi, which I don't know why. It's a genius thing, I guess. Does sound fun.
He like reciting pie, like eating pie. What? Wait.
He, at 15, got an award from the Vatican.
Which is awesome. Again, a nerdy, smart kid.
When they flash forward, by the way, the only son they show, the only son who was involved in this is, like I said, is Jake. Yeah. He's now living in, like, a dungeon in Michael's basement.
At first, I mean, I know it wasn't, like, a jail cell, but I thought, is this like concrete, all he could afford?
Concrete walls, like wiring showing.
Because they said, in the beginning when they do that montage, he's like, I had everything, and then I had 38 cents in my bank account. And you know how he lists everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they lost everything, and this is where they have to live now.
Well, the son's surrounded by whiteboards with like a
Right.
beautiful mind scribbling on them with like formulas. But then some of it,
There
did you
was
see,
some kind of beautiful mind. But it's also like,
they zoomed in. One thing was like, "You are enough," like inspirational
Right,
messages.
right.
I was like,
You
"Oh,
are loved."
this
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
living in the dungeon."
I was like, people are passing by writing things on this for this
They're
poor
like-
kid. They also refer to them as a Norman Rockwell kind of a family.
Yeah,
like,
Americana.
right. Norman Rockwell was probably spinning in his grave if he heard
Turns
that.
out, not so much. And then
No.
2014,
Norman Bates, they meant. They meant
2014,
Norman Bates.
the shit hits the fan, and they blame all their problems on this girl they adopt named Natalia. They say that's where it all
I love that name. I
went
hate
wrong.
that it didn't go right.
So then, so that they decide they want to adopt. They're like, we like working with kids who have problems. We want to adopt
Again,
a child.
you make money from the state when you do things like this.
So you think this is
Yeah.
they
I
got to
don't-
pay that Lambo?
If I see this woman, I will beat her.
Christine?
Yeah.
Oh, you
don't
better
like
watch
her.
out.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
You want to talk crazy horny? We'll get to that.
That's me and these pigtails. Oh wait, Christine.
So I guess the Haiti earthquake screwed up their original adoption plans. They were going to bring in a Haitian.
Right, big earthquake messed everything up. But it's
Yeah.
15 years they're married.
Not Earthquake the comic.
Right. No, different. He brings a different kind of destruction. So, but it's 15 years they're married, right? And then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we have 3 boys. We want to adopt. They don't say we just want a girl, which does happen to families. I'd like a little girl.
It seemed like
It
maybe
has
that
to
was the
be-
thing, though, because they did have 3 boys, but they didn't say that.
No, they didn't say that. But they were like, oh, she's handicapped. She needs help.
When they said she'll be a twin
they?
with our youngest kid,
Oh,
'cause
that
they're the
freaked
same
me
age.
out.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
twin? That's what?
You don't know how twins work.
Yeah,
One.
what are you talking
2,
about?
this poor kid she's dwarf. I'm not saying the real thing because I don't know how to say
She had like
that.
a rare
How do
form
you
of
say it?
dwarfism.
What did she have?
It was like a very specific, I don't know the name.
I'm not saying
too
the words
long.
because I have pigtails and lip gloss on, and I
What are
don't
you,
want to
Cindy Brady?
sound like an asshole. I forgot.
Uh,
Oh man, yeah,
it's,
you can make it as big as you want.
Spondylodysplasia
Dysplasia, I got that word.
congenita,
Yeah, I can't.
aka SDC, SEDC. It says.
Say that first one again.
Spondylophysial. Spell that. That's a hard spelling word. But it's a rare form of
Yes.
dwarfism.
That's
needless
fucked
to
up.
say.
Yeah.
So they get a call from some adoption agency. I guess that knew it was like Google ads. They're like, we know you want to adopt.
Well, but
We got somebody for you, and they claim they had 24 hours to decide.
and I think
Or
they
else
were,
they're like, you got 24 hours, or else she goes to foster care. Dun dun dun.
it's insane. But my thing is this: it's like, again, she's got a disability,
Mm-hmm.
so disability money is big, and that's I think what they
How
were
big?
after.
I gotta maybe want to look
Yeah,
into
hey,
this.
hey, foster care too. You can make money.
May want to look into.
Oh
this.
yeah,
Why not bring somebody from the outside in that can?
that's why they get these poor kids. Not every adoptive parent or foster parent is trash. I know a lot of them. I actually have a very good friend that has 4 foster kids, and it works for the foster 4. Is it 4? 3. Sorry.
You
Sorry.
don't want Johnny
I
Kerrigan.
he'll call me right away.
Johnny-
Hey, you know how many it is.
You know what they call him in Philly? Johnny Facts.
Johnny. GQ Johnny just lost his name to Johnny Facts.
Well, he's older. GQ Johnny's got to be retired now.
Johnny Google.
That's another one. But so they go to the adoption agency. It's a nice looking one. It's in a rundown strip mall.
Yeah, I mean, I perfectly.
In case you want some
Normal.
Chinese food before or after you adopt. My dad was adopted, by the way.
Right. So
He's a listener, or he was. I don't know if he listens anymore. He says the episodes are too long.
Dad.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
Joe
please.
Rogan is 4 to 5 hours.
Right.
episodes. Come on. We're just trying to be like the best. They see
We're not going to do push ups like Robert F. Kennedy, but we are.
as
doing our
they
best.
the Michael guy, very unreliable source, as we find. Everyone in this, though, is telling lies. Everybody. Every direction is lies.
Except for the poor young boy who may or may not have Asperger's.
Oh, the guy in the dungeon? Yeah.
Yes, the poor.
His whiteboards don't lie.
dungeons.
You have to read between the lines on them, though.
Those
But
are whiteboard lies.
they claim they see a family return her as they're picking her up. Which
Yeah,
I don't know if I believe the timing of that. They wouldn't work that out a
Hold on
little
second.
better?
The timing / we were looking through a peephole. There was a keyhole.
Yeah, the whole family looking.
What is this,
the
a
whole-
cartoon?
The whole family is looking through a keyhole.
Who looks
And
through
we
a fucking
see-
keyhole? They have maybe if there was a peephole on the door, maybe you could see a little, but with a keyhole, he said.
They're like, "Do you have the receipt? It's been more than 10 days. Not sure we can take this back." And he's like, "We'll take her." So, but he said, he's like, "It looks shady, but we were still in." I'm like, if it looks shady, feels shady, why are you still going through with it? Is my thing. It's
Also, my worst favorite shady part of this whole thing. It's my worst favorite. She walks in.
Your worst favorite?
Yeah, because it's the worst part, but also my favorite.
Oh, God.
Because she walks in, Natalia, the little girl, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Mommy, Daddy!" Like they trained this poor kid has been being fucking mind fucked.
They pull their string.
On top of whatever else is going on in her life, and she walks in, "Mommy, Daddy!" immediately, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I melted."
So here's
Because
where
you're a candle in the wind.
things get weird.
Sorry, I hate him.
Like a candle in the wind. So we got first night.
Okay.
Christine, the wife, giving Natalia a bath. Michael does his great reenactments. She's giving her a bath. She's got toys in there.
Yeah.
Whatever. He always lengthens
the whole
it.
list.
He's like a comic. He's gonna build the story.
Right. He's adding to.
We bought her some crayons you
little
could use on the wall.
Yeah.
So then he hears
She's covered in suds.
He hears a
What?
scream. He runs in, and they discover that this girl they adopted, who they think is what, 4?
4 or 6. I think 6. 2003.
She's got full pubes.
full pubes.
Yeah.
Now I don't know much about this dwarf, aka what
You
specific
think
thing she
may
has.
come with early pubes?
Sometimes.
Danny DeVito had pubes at like 6 years old.
How
I
do you?
don't know if he's a dwarf, is he?
By the way, how do you know that? 1,
It's
2.
in his
I'm
IMDb
comfortable.
trivia.
Oh Jesus Christ! Is it really?
No.
Oh,
What
I
are you
was like,
fucking
what?
crazy? Johnny Fax is yelling at the whatever he listens to this on. How dare you?
You little piece of shit. I was like,
Little? That's a slur. On this episode.
apologize.
How do you,
Apologies.
so Michael said, I don't
But-
even know what to think.
I'm saying, isn't that normal? Like I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, and all my girlfriends all had that before.
How old?
I did.
8?
9, 10.
That's early.
It is.
But I mean, I knew
Some of them
I knew
got-
Italian kids who had like stashes, but then they were tall, but then they maxed out in like 5th grade, so then they became
Right.
later
So
short.
they grew into themselves.
So they were like 5'7", and everyone's
absolutely.
like, "Oh shit, this guy's a giant," and then
Yeah.
they're just 5'7" their whole life.
I grew quick. I was a goonie, a tall one. And I say that because I was in an all-Italian neighborhood and everybody was little.
Yeah.
But like one of my closest friends got her period at 10. And there was nothing wrong with her.
This is pre-hormonal milk. They blame a lot of that on the milk.
Maybe.
This is pre all
Oh.
that, I think.
Really?
So Michael's doing Google searches, which is definitely putting him on a watch list. He Googles, can a child have pubic hair? Which is FBI is like, let's look into that.
That seems normal.
He said he found that a child can have pubic hair at
His
8.
cookies are covered in pubes. That's a problem.
At 8 years old is the answer he found from Wikipedia, wherever.
Okay. With this
Hey, Siri.
dysmorphia or just
Just in general.
okay.
But I think that's obviously that's the earliest.
Sure. And it would be weird. It would be
Yes.
weird.
If you're 8 and you got pubes,
Yeah.
you better be strutting around showing those pubes off. You better be wearing low cut everything. Like, look, yeah. If you're in like middle, what grade are you in at 8? That's a young grade.
It's a young grade.
Some
What
of your
is 8?
teachers
What
may
is
not
8?
have pubes at that point.
5th grade, 4th grade?
I don't know. Some
I don't
grade.
know. I got left back a lot.
You had pubes, but you were 31 years old because you were in elementary
As my
school.
friend Annie Garabone says, she drove us all to graduation. What a piece of shit.
Oh boy.
Grade school.
So then later, Michael says he comes home from work, Christine, who we discovered, Christine's like a detective / spy as we get more into this.
Because she's also covering up. So she has to cover her tracks.
Yes.
So
and she's creating kind of stories as she's going. But she finds a pair of Natalia's undies and says that she's having periods as well. Mm-hmm. And they're videoing a lot of this too on like a phone.
Okay.
They're like videoing. They're making her Natalia say certain things like like she's like.
Was that for?
I think they wanted
evidence.
Yes, that's what I think.
That's so weird. Some of the videos are so weird.
A lot of the people in these documentaries are good subjects because they film so much because it's footage. But then it always incriminates them. It's like, why are you filming this shit? So they have a doctor who's like, I know a girl in your area who has the exact same form of dwarfism.
Yes.
Let's have a play date. But then Natalia looks like Shaquille O'Neal next to this other girl because they're trying to find out what her age is.
But
It's like the big mystery.
Because they're already sus. They're already suspect. They're like, something's off. Something's off.
Something's weird.
Then they're like, okay, let's put her literally I think in their sick brains, the parents, because I hate both parents, are in the parents are like, okay, let's put her next to somebody so we can see.
It seems like they're building a case. I don't know if they're trying to sue the agency. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Right. But that again, like you said with your tall friend, my niece Madison, Johnny's daughter, very tall, always was. And I remember, this is so mean, but Madison was going through, like in school, kids were like, why are you so big? You know, kids are mean. And so my best friend, Melissa, her daughter, Melissa's 5'1" tops. Her daughter's 6 foot. Whoa. In like 3rd grade. She was gigantic, Jonna. She's gorgeous, beautiful kid. But
she'd carry her mother around?
Pretty much. I remember Melissa used to yell at her and she'd point up and I'm like, she's going to fuck you up. You better stop yelling at her. But Melissa would be yelling at her daughter.
Who's going to fuck who up?
The daughter.
No.
She's a big bitch.
The mom's got the intensity. And you
also,
can't
you don't want to fight with Melissa because she'll bite your ankles.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you can't lose. You can't lose to your child. She's got more to fight for.
But I remember I introduced Melissa had come by and Madison was there, and I go, "Oh, I want you to meet Jonna Marie because Jonna Marie's this beautiful girl, but she's very tall, and she went through all the same bullshit." And I said to Madison, "I go, she's 13." She went, "Oh my God, she's giant." And I was like, "Madison."
Well, shoot on the other foot. when you can turn the tables, you're like,
shit.
"Oh, sweet." Look at this tall bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna shit on her, but whatever.
You disgust me.
What I'm saying is, if you put like Madison was tall, I was kind of tall. If we put us next to my best friend Melissa, she's T90. She looks 10 years younger than me because she's so little.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, yeah, it happens.
So that happens in.
They interview.
I don't want to say regular. Is that racist? I not racist. You know what I mean.
What are you talking about?
Well, it happens in regular people versus, people with dysmorphia. Is it dysmorphias? No. What does she have? Like
dwarfism?
Dwarfism?
Yeah, that's
Just
good.
say
That's
but
all right.
can you say dysmorphia? Am I saying it wrong?
Call Brad Williams.
I should call Brad, but he's in Hawaii. I was gonna call him
via satellite.
Damn it.
They interview the Playdate girl who's now 14. She believes that Natalia was 18 at the time of their play date. Now, is what she's saying. Because there's a whole...
The mom's shitting on her. She's like, that's a grown girl. I'm like, what the fuck?
There's a whole element of like, is Natalia basically doing the movie Orphan? Where it's an adult...
Terrifying movie, FYI.
Pretending to be a child. By the way, check out the episode of Daddy Knows Best, starring Steve Renazizi.
Yes.
Co-written, directed, created by myself and Ryan O'Neill. Where we have Esther, is it Esther King now?
Esther King, but
formerly Esther Pavitsky.
I did think of little Esther.
So we had an episode where she babysits Steve's kid, and then he drives her home, and she says she wants to jerk him off, and he's like, "What? Whoa!" And she says if he doesn't do it, by the way, and in his mind, she's like a child. She's not old.
Of course.
And so she says if he doesn't do it, she's going to say that he touched her. So he has to go through with it because if you rape a man, that's always funny. That's a rule of comedy.
Wow. Yes.
But then he sees a news piece at the end where she was pulling an orphan. She was a 30-something-year-old woman.
Right.
And so he doesn't feel as bad, but he still feels bad. But he didn't do it.
Well, so his wife is home. Anyway, we'll leave
Check
all
out that
out
episode.
of it. Yeah.
It reminded me. This whole thing reminded me of that. I think these people saw that episode. Maybe stole it, but we'll see.
Stole your bit.
So then 4 months in, according to Michael, in the car, she'd always sit next to their youngest kid, her twin brother.
This is crazy shit.
And would try to piss on him.
Yeah.
And then would shit and try to smear it on him. We don't know if this is, we've never heard from her.
Me and my brothers did a lot of shit. They held me down and farted in my face. Can I press charges?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
But
still
they
open. They videoed Natalia and they're like, what were you doing? She's like, I was farting.
Yeah.
They
also
got a confession.
wiped like boogies on each other. I'm not even going to say it. It's gross what my brothers did. So this part, I'm like, this is weird, but.
They say she's hiding knives under the bed.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm going to kill you all in your sleep.
Is it scary to see a dwarf with a knife? Is the knife bigger than her?
I think to see anybody, but you could definitely. She didn't walk well. I'm not trying, but like you
I
can
like
easily.
that you laughed when you said it. But you're not trying to be mean.
I'm not, but you can
No,
easily
but she
escape.
Definitely, yeah,
Unless you're sleeping, you're pretty safe.
yeah. Like that one lady said. I think I'm skipping ahead, but you'll be fine. Like
Yes.
even if she came at you with a machete,
Yeah.
which she's using as a cane as well, because machetes are big, right? Anyway,
She could barely walk.
barely. How's this kid gonna hurt you?
So they start going to therapists. They claim that one of them said she's a sociopath.
Right.
So they get that diagnosis early.
Where do they get these doctors? Because these fucking doctors.
Some of them, yeah, are not great.
Just, in Indiana, please don't get sick or have any problems because they just throw their hands up. They're like, we don't know.
This idiot dad tells us, and I am asleep. I'm dreaming of gumdrops and candy canes, and I wake up, and he does his eye, like he probably pretended to sleep. I'm sleeping. My eyes are closed.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up, and there's Natalia at the foot of the bed, holding a knife, and I said, "What is going on? What do you mean? What is going on? What answer are you gonna get? I'm cooking. Like, what do you mean? What's going on?
Where do we keep the onions?
What's going on?
What is she gonna say?
Are you practicing to be a sous chef? What does he want her to say?
I can't reach the
What's
vegetables
going
that
on?
I want to eat tonight.
We'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on? What is this?
I was dreaming of gumdrops and candy.
You know who you must hate is the nosy neighbor in their
I
neighborhood.
love her.
This
That
lady-
dress is all American.
This lady, I think described herself as a nosy neighbor. And
So
just,
she did. She said, I'm the nosy neighbor.
just was in everybody's business.
I like to know what's going on.
Constantly spying on shit.
Like, everyone can see you comment. The colorful of that dress. It was like the American flag.
She complained because she found out about the knife incident and then was like, I live 2 doors down. What's going to happen to me? This lady can barely.
I'm not letting her play with my kid.
Oh,
Like,
come on. This lady can barely move. You're fine, nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Ugh.
So
I
then
hate her.
Michael claimed at this point that they never ever said, let's take her back. But I think a lot of this is PR and damage control on
Yes.
their parts.
Yeah. Lots of damage control.
Then they end the first episode with a bombshell. They claim that Natalia doses Christine's coffee with Pledge.
And then they show.
But leaves the Pledge on the counter.
I know. And then they show, like, in the act out, whatever.
Yeah, they had a lot of
it's
great
like
reenactments.
Pine Sol. I'm like, dude, that's a big difference. If she sprayed, it's usually not liquid Pledge.
And you wouldn't
It's very
leave it on
rare.
if you're an adult, if you're older than
Yeah.
you're saying you're not going to leave it on the counter.
Also, yeah, and if she sprayed it, I mean, look, my sister drank half a glass of Pine Sol. Did nothing to her. She thought it was milk. It's nobody's business.
I drink gasoline.
Crazy sister did in her life.
I drink gasoline at 4.
Did you? Yeah.
No treatment.
No repercussion.
I didn't get treated. Probably lost a lot of brain cells. I could have been the kid in this. I could have been reciting Pi, and I killed half of my brain cells.
What?
I think I
Time
liked
out.
the smell,
Everyone did.
so I thought it would
That's
be.
how you got high as a kid.
So I thought it'd be nice to drink. Me, a friend of mine, right out of the red jug in the garage,
Shut
the lawnmower jug.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
1, there was a lawnmower. 2, why?
Yeah, I lived in the suburbs, not
Avi.
trash city. I didn't have jackhammers to work
we
on the
didn't mow the
sidewalk.
cement. We never did that.
Why would you?
So wait a minute. Time out. So now how much do you drink?
I don't know. I was 4. I don't know.
You're like, this is good.
But
It
my
smells
parents
good
were
too.
like-
Let me
they're
sip
like,
it
"Yeah,
again. I
he's-"
can't really get the smell and taste to work
They're like, he's
together.
not throwing up. He's fine. And then they just let it ride. Roll the dice.
Wow.
And now look at me. I'm great.
Wait, didn't your dad work at a hospital?
And the financial side, but yes.
Oh, okay. So he knew he could be like, oh, I'll go here to this hospital
No,
and get my son checked?
No, I think they had no intentions.
I mean, we
Maybe
didn't
they
go
had
to
plans.
the doctor because we couldn't afford it. My mom was like, "Don't get hurt. We can't afford it." That was it.
Maybe they had something to do. I don't know.
Wow. I mean,
And
Karen
it may have been.
didn't
I'm
get treated
assuming.
either.
I'm assuming it wasn't a big. Like I'm
But
gonna say
gasoline.
the taste can't be great, so I don't think I took a big sip.
Right, but if let's go back to the kid. First of all, I'm terrified of that. I'm not going to get into it because I want your dad to keep listening, even though I don't know how far into it we are.
He told me I owe him money for talking about him. So this is just more money out of my pocket.
This is your damage control, not to have to pay him.
It's true.
He let you sleep on a half a glass of gasoline.
I was lighting my breath on fire for.
By the way,
weeks
did it
after.
give you energy? Just asking.
Yeah, it was for
ooh.
months. Vacuum the house at all hours.
That'd be amazing.
The sweater is not breathing well. It's hot in here.
It is hot in here. My pigtails are hot.
Man.
That's what's making
Talking
it so
about Michael
hot.
Barnett's getting us hot.
Ooh.
It gets hot. This thing gets hot and heavy.
Wow. Yes, it does. I forget the point I was
Some
going
of
to
the
make.
texts, drinking gasoline.
I'm still. What I was going to say is that the pledge. Let's just say she went, tss, it wouldn't have done anything. So that's not. I'm trying to kill you.
I think she thought it was creamer. She's from the Ukraine. And it's different culture.
What are all these extras?
Yeah, they're like, we
that
don't.
was my
they
big
don't-
Ukraine.
Oh,
that was
wow!
my.
I felt like I was in Ukraine right there.
You felt a bomb go off right
I was
there.
like, man, is that Zelensky? Turns out it was Eleanor. Your brother's gonna do some Ukrainian fact checking
Yeah, you're
online.
gonna get in trouble for that one.
Episode 2, they take her to some stress center to see a psychiatrist. She gets booted.
And they immediately return her.
She gets booted.
This is your problem.
Then becomes one of the weirder parts. And this is a weird documentary or
Dude.
series. The youngest son has a birthday party. They take him Chuck E. Cheese, Dave and Buster's,
Everywhere.
mini golf,
Yeah.
movies. No, this is a let's go milk cow's birthday
Guys,
party.
this is
Classic.
This is Indiana. They don't have those kind of fun.
No one
places.
goes on a milk your cow birthday
This is
party.
why I think we should have had O'Neill to tell us if this is real. Maybe they don't have Chuck E. Cheese in Indiana. Maybe
maybe. Just
they only have
They
milking.
making the cheese parties. So they go to a cow milking party.
He likes milking.
Yeah, we know somebody who likes milking. Who was in that episode of Daddy
Yes.
Knows Best. So there's a controversy here. They're at the milking party, which is what
I
a
love
friend
a
of
good
ours
old
would
milking
call.
myself.
Who
Yes.
doesn't? Milk those cows. Get those little hands on those udders.
Take these udders out.
The
I'm
farmers
sorry.
are like, this is great. We have a day
Yeah.
off. The kids are here to do our jobs.
We got 6 hands here. It's just
So they claim they tell like when you come in they give you kind of the rules.
yes.
The lifeguards of the farm, if you will.
Oh, and what the dad says, I
and they
can't.
say this fence is electric. Boogie woogie
Don't touch
woogie.
it.
You got to stay away from it.
But can I do the dad's reaction?
Yeah,
The
please.
Natalia, when he was talking about, he was like, and she lit up.
In her eye, she heard electric fence, and her eyes just
Lit up.
And then he just pauses, and they're like, hold it on him for as long as he holds his pose. Dude, break.
He did hold it.
So the dad and the brothers, the sons, they go up ahead, and I don't know where the milking pasture, wherever the hell
Right.
they go.
They have to walk.
Natalia.
By the way, again, no, this is the thing that's drove me crazy from the beginning. They don't get this kid. I know she's 6 or whatever, but a scooter
Nothing.
or a cart
No.
or something.
A shopping
So,
cart,
anything. If you want to be white trash, put her in a shopping cart.
wagon.
But let's go. They got to go hiking, basically,
Yeah.
to milk a fucking cow.
Yeah. She's like, I could have stayed.
what?
I could have stayed in Ukraine and done this
Yeah.
for no money.
It doesn't make sense.
So the mom and Natalia,
Period.
we find out, are always at odds. By the way, they're like it's the biggest conflict is these two.
Women.
They stay together, and then apparently, according to Michael, whose story changes on this, by the way. At one point, he tells
Back and forth, back
he tells
and
a
forth.
different. This point, he says I can't see them. Later on, he says he can't. I think no. Here he says he can see them. Then later on, he says I couldn't.
Yeah,
see
I
them.
looked back. She told me to keep going.
Yeah.
I got this.
So they're wrestling these two, and they claim that this girl who's tiny and looks like she has no power. By
Vince
the way, though,
McMahon was right behind them. They were wrestling. And
they're wrestling, and she's trying to pull the mom into the fence to kill her. Which, what do they think these fences? What is this, Jurassic Park? What do they think this fence is? How many volts? These are cows.
You
They're
would kill the
T-Rexes.
cows. It's literally like a shock.
There'd be fried cows this whole
Yeah.
farm.
They
Yeah.
just don't want any lawsuits. So
One of the
they're making
farmers, by
it-
the way, was like that area of fence had no.
By the way-
wasn't even on.
I don't know if I'm going ahead of the episode, but when they go back to the farm, I believe, and they do this shot of the guy that ran it, and they make him stand in front of the barn, and he's just.
Oh, they had great shots.
And it's covered in snow, and he's just like, it looks scarier than Natalia.
They introduce an ex-cop, and the guy's cleaning his gun. While they introduce him, like, is this necessary? What the fuck is that? I believe he's an ex-cop. I don't be like, hey, prove it.
Do they find these people?
They're like, can you load your gun?
Holy shit, these are real people.
Load your gun when we introduce you. But so then, by the way, Michael says Natalia may be small, but she has guns that Arnold Schwarzenegger would be jealous of.
Why would
Her arms were nothing to behold. We're coming off Grey Gardens.
This poor kid, her hands are,
where the mother had, you want to talk guns. Those things were double-barrel shotguns.
Had some nice guns.
Natalia's arms are not remarkable in any way. And I'm not shitting on her. She's a tiny person.
She's a baby. And of course, you do have, like, strength.
Yeah.
Sure, because you have to learn to work.
She, like, I think had to, like, kind of use her, like, when she would move around, like, inside.
I mean to do this. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't like that they showed her doing a handstand. What the fuck is that? Because she had, the biggest part of her was her head.
They claim that she's in this fight. She yelled at Christine, "You fucking bitch, you're gonna die!" Which this farm worker,
to kill you.
One of the farm workers later goes, "I'm pretty sure I remember that. I didn't hear anything like that at all."
He's like, I was right there.
After the fact, they say because they call the cops, he goes, the mom was into, like, super, like, acting kind of crazy.
Of course.
Like, the daughter seemed fine.
Did they even have shoes on the kid? Of course her feet hurt. They had, like, slippers.
They had these, like, shitty, like,
socks.
Not socks,
like
but they were like
socks.
They were like barely shoes.
Yeah, I didn't get that. It's so much wrong. The parents are so in the wrong and should be incarcerated forever, to be quite honest.
So Natalia ends up in the loony bin for this incident. How great were the nurses that were anonymously on this documentary via the phone?
That's a woman.
They're like,
that's a grown woman.
She was busty. That was one of them.
She had big titties. Wait, what?
This is though when they start saying she's talking a lot about sex.
Yeah.
Which and they kind of gloss over that.
Okay,
this. But I think that she was victimized at some point.
But her
which is sad, obviously.
100%. So her mental state is fucked with.
Yes.
She's not mentally challenged.
No.
Right.
But she's pulled from the Ukraine, which I'm sure could fuck with you, either subconsciously.
Because at first I was thinking about that, like, because, mentally challenged adults, my sister used to work with.
Oh, they get horny.
Yes. Mentally adult women.
What's that movie with Julia? What's her name? Lady from Natural Born Killers. What's her name?
Yeah, Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, her. Isn't there a movie?
Not Juliette Lewis. Julia Louis. Yeah, Julie Lewis.
Isn't there a movie where she's mentally challenged?
She's one of my favorite.
It's a romantic
actresses.
movie. They fall in love.
Yes, Juliette Lewis. Thank God I got it right. Because I was thinking of Julia
Louis Dreyfus. But Elaine was mentally challenged on Seinfeld.
To dare you pick on her? Oh yeah, the other sister.
It's about horny. I don't think it's about horniness, but it's about romance.
No, but my sister, like, literally, you would bring these women in, and they would touch themselves. They would pull stuff out. It was
pull
crazy.
Stuff out? Was it
like
magic
pull their
show?
pants down. And we can bring it up because my brother Johnny was afraid of them. He wouldn't eat around them. It was a whole thing.
Johnny, thanks for listening. Did they have pubes? And at what age?
Yes, but these were adult. These ladies were in their 40s and 50s.
Were they hot?
No, and one of them, my brother Jimmy.
Not the best
my brother
question
Jimmy swore that she was faking, but
Whoa.
she did have big
This is
titties.
a family trait. You guys think people are scamming? So they throw her out of this place because they say she was propositioning men, and the male patients were getting super horny, and that she's offering sexual favors for money.
Well, sure, and it's like, I know men are creepy, and sorry, but not all, but. Okay, for the most part, if a girl's like, hey, you want some? And they're like, well, I've never had a dwarf, right? It's a bucket list for you people.
Were you people, get out of here. Were you annoyed with the lady on this who was their legal expert?
I like that Jeff got mad at that. I think
they overused her a bit.
They overused her, but she was definitely
knew her shit.
Only person with a brain.
But she also talked like this. She'd be like, well, Natalia.
I'll tell you what, Natalia.
A little bit. But then her
She
thing.
should do comedy.
She said if she's threatening to kill the family, why not go to the police?
Agreed.
They never go to the cops.
Ever.
Once.
Why?
Just because I think they're covering up for what they're doing.
So did they think when they brought her to the mental institution that they would just keep her and be like, she's mentally?
I think they
fucked
wanted
up.
a way out or to sue the adoption place.
'Cause you
Lamborghini
can't-
payments were piling up.
Right. You can't charge
14 TVs aren't going to pay for themselves.
because the cops would take them away
Yes. Christine,
or put the parents away.
this
whatever.
Michael's spin on this part was great. Natalia got in trouble. Christine said, go just sleep on the back deck. Not a big deal. One of our neighbors, the nosy neighbor, had her binoculars out that night.
She don't even need them. She lives right across the street.
So she calls child services. And then the cops show up because of that.
Yes.
They're like, why is she sleeping on the deck? And he's
Oh,
like,
and his response, and they realized immediately they were not here to protect her. They were here to protect my sons.
so then
Crazy.
Then it becomes this whole legal thing where they're trying to get her age legally changed.
This part, the courts, you're a problem. You're a problem.
But they also were having trouble because they're saying the Ukrainian orphanage gave her a fake birth certificate. There's a whole.
And it is true sometimes when people come here from other countries, shit gets lost. They don't know.
Look at a lot of athletes, like a lot of baseball players. They're like, we don't know the real
We have
age.
no idea. Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo, they don't know his age from Africa. They're like, we don't. He claims it's accurate, but people are like, I think he's older than what he says, but no one knows. 'cause
But
it's
yeah,
like,
and how would you know?
I'm
without
70
a lot of testing. I'm only 15.
I'm 73.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm geriatric.
felt that. I'm
Yeah.
young. I'm a youngin.
You-
I'm only 15 years old.
You're gonna get adopted.
If anybody wants to adopt, I could wear these pigtails all the time.
They keep mentioning Natalia hasn't grown in 4 years. They have like all these the pubes.
Sure,
They're really
sure.
making their case of
Yeah.
why this should be happening. By the way, then they have a family.
pubescent.
Great. Some of the interviewees, great.
Oh, yeah.
Robin and Dwayne, the couple who was going to adopt her.
Okay, I hate him. Wait.
No, they're in the Little Rascal scooters. The
Oh,
couple.
I like them. Okay,
Oh, they're
I like
great.
them. I like
They're
them a
little
lot.
people.
Yes.
So they start like trying to.
But they're also rational, smart people. Like,
yeah, they were. Well,
I
we'll go into
eh.
a little weird. They claim that Dwayne has a sixth sense and he can feel evil if he's in the room with it. That was a little odd, I thought. He's like, oh yeah.
Wait, they just an intuition. She's like regular people would call it. They did go Christian. They did say some kind of.
It's like, what is this guy, Bruce Willis from Sixth Sense? He's like, I see little people.
Yeah.
So then he said there was a shady, weird feeling. I think this was with the previous couple who had Natalia. By
Absolutely. Yeah.
The way. So they're trying to peddle her. I think they're using the Little People of
But
America as a middleman.
they went through Little People of America. They're like, hey, who?
Why? By the way, Little People of America will just be like, oh yeah, by the way, we'll broker your adoption. That's the thing they do.
Who knows? But if
very
they're
odd.
if Little People of America know of a couple, like that one lady said, who I did like, she said that you could go there. That's how people meet their spouses. That's how it's
Little People. I know that world because I watched Little People Big World on TLC
Yes,
for years.
okay,
They were big
okay.
in the Little People of
so
America.
maybe they help people.
They have sporting events. Like they have like
Yeah.
are there other countries? Is like a Little People of Armenia? Can you do the Olympics?
I like this. Can we start a whole thing?
Can we do a worldwide festival?
I love.
Why
this.
just America?
I'll get my buddy Nick Novecki on it.
Is
but
there a Little People of Canada,
maybe?
Mexico?
Let's get
Get the whole everything. whole
Brad,
big party.
everybody in on it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can start something.
So Dwayne says he thought the Natalia was being coached, whatever. They
Easily.
pass. They
That's what I'm
pass.
saying. This kid has been, her mind is being raped
Yeah.
more than anything.
Okay. So then, Michael, domestic violence charge 2003, which is funny. I mean, it's not
There's
funny.
no way he had her in a headlock. That's
No,
what it said.
She had him in a headlock.
100%. She had him, and Natalia was kicking him in the dick.
The nosy
No way.
neighbor hears the Barnetts fighting on the front lawn. She's shocked because she thought they were so perfect. She's like,
What?
What's going on? As her,
Norman Rockwell didn't do that.
oh my heavens.
Fuck out of here. People are sick. I hate every one of them.
Okay, so then we'll go to episode 3.
Yeah.
The judge changes Natalia's age to 22. Legally.
so
That's
they-
legal.
Legal, they leap it 11 years, was it? Is it 11
It
or
was a lot.
14?
I think it was 14 years.
14 years, yeah, 14 years. They jump it 14 years ahead.
Yeah.
How in the legal system of the world is this possible?
I don't know.
Not a bone graft, not nothing.
No, they said one doctor say he thought that was
And he said it wasn't. He said no. He said she wasn't an adult.
So what do these people do? They get her an apartment by herself. They're like, this is the answer.
With zero handicap accessibility.
Nothing.
Nothing. She can reach
And it's like far away from their house.
Yeah.
It's not built to her standards at all, her size.
Did you ever stay in a hotel room where it's handicapped? They've done that to me.
No.
And I think they always punk me when they do it because I'm like big. So everything is little.
Are you dressed like you're dressed right now? Because it might be the problem.
You.
What is it? Are they putting you in a little room?
For the most part, yeah. Like
Just like a small bed?
Yeah, they did
Wow.
it to Andrew one time. He freaked out because they have suites like that too. Because people make money, but they have handicap. They need whatever. So, if you hang your clothes up, it's halfway. So it's like your shit's on the floor, kind of.
Nice. That's cool.
And so it was annoying. It's great that they.
You're saying if you don't need it. You're like, it's annoying it exists.
But in my head, I'm thinking of, oh man, I remember my fucking pants were on the floor, like dragging because I hung them. It was like an outfit for a show. We were in Vegas, and I was pissed. But imagine this poor girl who can't reach. They're like, oh, she comes to my house to eat. Yeah, because she can't reach shit in her house. They probably put everything on the top shelf.
So the neighbors in this place universally hate Natalia. They're saying she stinks.
Well,
one thing though is
she's going through puberty.
If you're a kid,
she's not bathing.
If you're a kid though,
did you see the tub? She could drown in there.
But if you're a kid,
she's better off at the water park with those
you
guys.
don't really get BO. You just like smell.
It's not true. If you're
smell
going
dirty.
through. Also, think about this. She has to walk a certain way.
Yeah.
So you're excreting.
So you think
what's that word? Sweating a lot more.
You think she could have BO?
100%.
She
and
definitely
she's going
wasn't
through puberty.
changing clothes. Every video they showed from this time was like the one outfit.
She's
she
going
had.
through puberty. Everything. If you don't wash a baby, they stink. You know
They
this.
smell like dirty, but they don't smell like BO. Is what I'm saying.
She's sweating. She's walking. She's chafing. Fucking
Working-
rubbing together.
working
this kid,
out.
This poor kid.
So the CPS or the child services the neighbors are constantly complaining.
By the way,
she's like breaking into people's places.
Not breaking in, but just like walking
in, going to the
'cause
fridge.
It's obviously a neighborhood where they leave their doors open. That one lady was great. She was like, I came in, she was getting Coca-Cola, chips.
Sue was pissed. Sue's this elderly woman who lives next door.
And it is annoying to them, but it's annoying like a little kid would be annoying.
Yes.
Again, this goes back to her age.
And she's just helpless.
It's superly apparent.
And Michael and his wife are holding food from her.
I fucking hate these people.
So she's constantly hungry.
I hate both of them.
Michael videos himself, and I'm like, why would he video? It doesn't make him look good. He's like,
he was videoing her, taking pictures of her like off in the distance. I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, where'd you get these donuts?
Oh,
the neighbor brought her donuts, and he was freaking out. She's like, I just found them in the cupboard.
And when a kid's afraid, they lie, and they're not good at it.
Let's look at the expiration. Oh, it's recent.
Wait a minute, I know that voice.
He's like, then he starts grilling her about what she's talking about with child services, and they were constantly wiping.
What did they ask you? It's damage control.
They were constantly wiping all the contacts from her phone.
Yeah, like you can't call anybody, bitch.
Yeah, they're like your phone.
I hate them. I'm done with them.
How about the couple who she was stalking?
Oh, I hate the father in that one.
What
was his name? Toby?
The neighbors.
Toby, I got it right.
She keeps going over. She knew when they were coming and going, and then she would just show up.
Toby,
it's like a horror movie. She's like, hi.
Looked like he got kicked out of Portland for being too much of a pussy. I hate Toby.
He had the look. He had the tattoos.
He was such a dick.
He looked kind of like Ed Sheeran. Like a hipster Ed Sheeran.
Without the talent.
How dare you? Toby is a great singer.
I don't like Toby.
I love Toby.
I don't like him. He was so like, she's coming over and like.
He seemed scared.
Yeah,
physically
afraid
scared.
of her. Afraid of a.
Where the wife was like, who cares? Like, didn't really seem to mind.
Yeah.
By the way, though, they say she keeps targeting kids. Mm-hmm. Like they keep showing a video of her playing with this kid in the neighborhood.
When they showed her with that little boy, yes, she looked older, but you could see her mentality.
She's also stunted, from all this abuse.
Yeah.
But she's on like
Mentally
a
and
little.
physically.
She's on like
Yeah.
a motorcycle. It was like a little
Oh, yeah.
car, and she's like, "Can you help me? I'm stuck." To this guy, and he's like, "I don't know if she was a kid. I don't know what was going on."
I
But
would
if you
touch
think that,
her,
why are
but-
you just like, "Hey, keep playing. I'm gonna video on my cell phone. Have a good time, guys."
Well, he was nervous, I think. God forbid if somebody came. I don't know.
And then the neighbor
And
Toby.
there's no parents. This kid's by herself. And then she has
Yeah.
to do her rehearsed line of, I'm 22 years old.
Toby and the wife claim that she's going after their son. At one time, she just came in
Toby's like, why not me? I'm right here. Because you're a pussy, Toby.
uninvited, and she's going right back to the kid's bedroom. And the Chihuahua saved him. Chased her off.
Everybody's afraid of if you need to get a dwarf away from you, just get a Chihuahua and they will scare her. This scary child was so scary to Toby that the Chihuahua
It saved him.
kept her at bay.
They say she's starting to go to the kid's bus stop when he's alone.
That was a weird
little-
reenactment.
A little creepy.
You got to stop doing reenactment.
Sue claims that Natalia came in the place when Sue was out, and just her grandson and his buddy were there playing Xbox, and
Right.
Natalia started rubbing up on him.
Natalia's like, look at these titties.
Ugh.
I know they smell, but look at them.
Ugh.
This is so awful. I'm going to hell. I know.
Sue said having Natalia live by you is like a Hitchcock movie. I didn't see that one, but
But also, that's how they were filming it, like a Hitchcock
Yeah.
movie. So it was very Hitchcock-y.
they said Natalia was getting in the cupboards, eating food, hiding behind the bushes to scare the landscape crew. I was like, they're making her sound like a rodent.
Imagine.
She's in the cupboards.
Open out.
Some guy's mowing the lawn, and she's like, ah! Guy could have had a heart attack. Like, what the fuck?
She's just wearing a bra. Rah! Scared as shit out.
What is that about?
Fucking baby tits coming
Why
out.
is she scaring the landscaping crew?
I don't know, but I kind of like that.
What did
part.
you do to that landscaper? Why would you do that? Did you cut the brakes on that lawnmower? There's an old man, Fred, was doing laundry in the building.
Oh, yeah, poor
Sue's
Fred. Poor
Sue's-
Fred got accosted.
She's saying sexual things to Fred. He's like, what? No. And he said, I finally got away
Well,
from
I'll help
her.
you put it in the washer, but I ain't washing
So they
you.
all want her out of this place. They're like, we need to get rid of it. This is a problem. And by the way, Michael and Christine, nice of you
But
guys, just to dump your problem on. Hey, let's
Exactly.
put her up here.
Again, why they should be in prison. She literally is looking for any attention. Any attention is good attention. Doesn't matter if it's sexual, it's attention. Somebody is paying attention.
She's wrestling with a 9-year-old kid alone and starts undoing his pants.
I gotcha.
Jesus.
With those little arms, she was able to get this kid's
Could have
pants
been
unbuttoned.
could have been buttons though. A button, not a
Like just pull,
yeah, like a
snappy,
young
snappy
kids. Yeah,
crotch.
it's hard for kids to pick.
It's always good to put kids in snappy crotch.
Well, not in this situation. So
Again,
the dad runs
I
out.
apologize. Go ahead.
Dad runs out and breaks it up. A little creepy, that part.
And then he refused to be interviewed because he was like, I don't want to talk about it.
Sue thinks Natalia's possessed.
That kid's, you know who was my favorite? The headless neighbor.
She was so frantic.
The headless
She was
neighbor
like,
had the biggest tits and was like,
I
anyway, I was like, what is she doing?
I
was
could
like,
tell who
no
she
one's
was.
paying any attention
I know
to
she
her.
was by the tits. I recognized her.
She had the biggest titties.
But she was also like frantic.
Oh yeah, she was
She
like, and
was-
then she'd be over there, and I was like, you got to stop moving like that, lady. Like this is uncomfortable. I'm
After
getting
this
horny.
episode, I was like, I'm still nowhere. I don't understand
Nothing.
what the fuck's happening.
No,
You don't know who to believe.
don't know who to believe, but also who to believe is the fact that these parents abandon a kid.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
They're either they eventually get charged for two things. So it's either abandoning a kid
Okay.
or abandoning someone who's disabled with giving her no resources for
Okay, so
success.
that's like double.
Yes.
they gotta get
either
both.
way. Either way, you're doing
Yeah.
something wrong. So that's why the age is like this constant.
But they
thing.
threw that out.
Yes.
We're not in that episode
Yeah.
yet, but whatever. The court, when he finally goes to court,
Yeah.
they threw that out. They wouldn't allow them to use the evidence of the court changed her age.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy to me. No one's accountable here. Not one adult is accountable.
They then move her to Lafayette, Indiana, which I guess is where Purdue University is. She's got a new neighbor, this lady Kenna. She's got listen to this.
Kenna, my
listen to this.
Christian cat lady, is amazing.
She had how many crosses were on that one wall? 30?
That's how many kids she had.
40?
They were all kids.
This lady, here's her stat line: 9 cats, boom, 2 dogs, 5 kids, one foster on a trial basis. If they adopt them, that's 6.
Yeah. 6 firearms.
That's 11, 16, 17 living beings, not counting the adults. 19
in the house.
Yeah.
Wait, you assume she's married?
She said remember the husband yells.
Oh, that's
later on.
right. He does yell.
So this lady's watching the situation as well. Natalia, they put her in a second floor apartment, like steep stairs.
Dude, again, no.
no
You think
handicap
she's
access?
21? You don't give her a fucking scooter.
How'd she even reach the doorknob?
At all? This kid. At this point she is Schwarzenegger strength because she's going up concrete steps, out front, 2 sets, and then a whole set inside.
This is
At this point, she may as well be an Olympiad.
This is Home Alone meets Orphan. Maybe. We don't know, though.
Home Alone meets Orphan.
Daniel Stern was constantly creeping around outside, casing the joint.
He comes in the next one.
This neighborhood, this lady Kenna says, is so dangerous that she's armed at all times.
Even in the house.
Inside and outside.
What person says
Man.
inside and outside? Is it the kids? Is it the husband?
Jesus.
Is it the dogs? Is it the cat? Is it the crosses? What is
Michael
coming at
keeps
you?
saying how nice the area is. It doesn't sound
Michael's
great.
like, we would walk this
like,
area all the time.
We
he
set her
gave
up
a list.
we set her up in a nice apartment.
There's GED within 2 blocks.
Yeah, he's like
the bus within 2 blocks.
He's like, you have a
social
grocery
services.
store? They showed the grocery store was a gas station. Fucking.
It was so bad. Suicide prevention
Yeah,
within 2 blocks.
you got-
Grocery store within 2 blocks. I'm like, that's not a grocery store, fucker. That's a glorified deli.
And if you're listing suicide prevention as like one of the great
Bodega,
amenities
whatever. Yeah.
near you, let's find
know.
not somebody in a good
He's like,
situation.
even if she wanted to kill herself, she could get help within 2 blocks.
This lady can barely walk 10 feet, you fucking idiot. 2 blocks.
No scooter, nothing.
2 blocks
I'm
for her
so
might as
angry
well
at
be
this.
another city.
Oh my God. Nothing. Not a walker.
Not a
nothing.
Tricycle?
Insane.
Nothing.
I hate them.
How good did you like the neighborhood Eddie?
Eddie's probably my favorite character.
He's got no shirt on
is
in the
he
interview.
having a baby out of his belly button?
This
What is
guy-
that?
this guy,
What,
they're
is
like-
that a hernia?
Would you like to be in a documentary series? Yeah, sure. You want to put a shirt on? Absolutely not. I'm ready to go right now.
Out of makeup.
Like,
This is me fresh out of makeup.
I'm ready.
No,
Eddie's
you
talking
don't need
to
to cover
him.
this up. Show this. This
Eddie's
is
got a belly button with a growth.
good. Is that a hernia or is that
I think it was something trying to come
it's
out.
high up? If it's a hernia,
It was
oh,
pushed.
boy.
The thing was being pushed out.
Pushed out. And
Which-
he's like, "Yeah, I've been to prison.
He should have pierced it.
I've been to prison, and it's sexual stuff. It's sexual.
And
So
he's
he
like-
definitely fucked Natalia.
He goes, well, Natalia, I thought may have been a child. I stayed away from her, saying basically this guy's a sex offender.
Guy's got a red dot over his head as he walks around.
As a neighbor. I was like, great neighbor.
I gotta tell people I'm a sex offender. Yes, you do have to tell people.
There are
sicko.
sex offenders within 2 blocks.
She could get sex wherever she wants.
Natalia goes missing, ends up with this lady named Cynthia, who basically takes her in.
Cynthia, thank God for some good white trash.
How good was Cynthia, though?
Cynthia's great.
They're doing videos, her and Natalia, of them going shopping with Natalia's government money.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
And
Yeah.
she's like, what should we get? She's like, has this new money. Like, I got new money at the grocery
Cynthia's
store.
already a professional at beating the government.
Yeah, so I liked her.
Which
But
is
she did
totally
have
fine.
she did have a good heart, though. I'll give her that.
100%.
Her heart was in the right place.
And
Cynthia.
even if they make, to be honest, even if Cynthia and her husband and kids, whatever, make money off of her and this case, or that hopefully they sue everybody involved, the entire, at this point, the city, the state, everybody should be sued, the courts. If they make money, good for them because she's in better hands.
Ukraine
she's in
should be
way
sued.
better. Yeah, that hospital was ridiculous telling the mother that.
2014, shit hits the fan. The perfect marriage is over.
Oh
Michael
no,
and Christine.
Norman Rockwell. Wah, wah.
Michael is single. Ladies, look out.
This is the outfit he wears. Jeff's wearing it now.
He had a great collar. He has a better collar than me. It was like
Yeah,
one of those
he
like
does.
bathrobe collars.
By the way, when he comes down the step as the single guy, he's like, it's like a princess coming out at at like a, what's that called? The damn it,
Quinceañera?
quinceañera.
Yeah,
I
the
almost said
Mexican princesses? What are you
quinceañera.
talking about?
Yeah, like a princess party when they have their coming out parties. What's that
Okay.
called? And that's 16 when they come down the steps and they're like,
Sure.
ooh. Like that's
That-
how he came down the fucking steps.
That happened in Philly?
No. No. Socialites. Edith Beale did.
Christine's in Canada with the genius son. Goes to
Yeah, now
get a
they
master's degree. This guy was
They
taking
moved
college
out
courses.
of the country.
But she stays there with the boys. Michael's probably fucking hard in the U.S. by himself.
Michael went with.
No, but then he comes back and
Yeah,
they
but
stay.
I'm saying initially they left the fucking country.
Yeah, they're like, see you, Natalia. Have fun.
What?
We'll be in Canada.
With no contact list, nothing, barely can get her EBT card to work.
Kevin!
They didn't even say we left something. I
No,
feel
they're
like I'm
like,
missing
no, like, we
something.
did leave something and we feel good
We
about it.
continuously leave it.
Michael, 2022, admits his Corvette won't run anymore.
Aw.
Keeps it in the driveway. Why does he keep
Been
it?
dead for a year.
So this is when, in 2022,
Reminiscing.
when Michael comes back in 2022 for the interviews, he really turns on Christine hard.
Yeah.
He says she's a master manipulator. Her nickname.
Now he's doing damage control.
Her nickname is Evil, and she earns every letter.
Every single letter. She has earned it.
But that's his nickname for her. I don't think that's like a known nickname. I don't think people are
Yeah.
like, Evil, what's up?
The way she's saying it is like the whole neighborhood calls her that. Even the nosy neighbor.
Some pretty damaging video
So what-
footage here. Christine makes Natalia nose to the wall for hours, according to Michael. Again, this is shady because we can't trust this
8
guy.
hours.
But Christine's trying to figure out who she is, how old she is, and Natalia won't give information. So she says, "Go
She
nose to
doesn't
the wall."
know it. Like, even if she was, okay, we find out later, I don't know if it's this episode or the next one, that she was born in the Ukraine, and her mother was told that she wouldn't live.
The mom, basically, they were like, "Give her up. You can't
You'll
financially
never be
support
able-
it.
you'll
Like,
never
you won't
be
give her a
able
good
to."
life. Like, you need to give her up."
Which is basically stealing a baby. Sickening.
Yes.
And then
They basically forced. They
they forced her hand.
more or less, yeah.
And then they shipped her off. This lady thought, okay, in a couple months, the kid's going to die. Like, who knows?
Or like
What they lied
she'll
to
have a
her
better
about.
life, which obviously she
Yeah.
did not. Mike, this was one of the creepier parts of this. This video,
One of the creepy parts.
Christine says, "You will write your sentences. Because you're being a big stinker pot, you will get on the wall," which is scarier than someone being like, "You motherfucker." That's like, to me, that's scarier language.
Stinker pot.
Just it's psychotic. It's what a psycho would say.
She's being a stinker pot because she shit her pants.
Well, that's what Michael
why
says.
she stinks.
Michael says she was on that wall, nose to the wall for 8 hours. And this lady has bad legs.
Fuck. Yes. She cannot stand long. And one video, she goes, "Oh, are your legs hurting?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You were on that wall for how long?" And it was like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Even
Suck
2
it up.
minutes is long. For that kind of problem, it's long.
So this is where Michael gets crazy in his interview.
Yeah.
He says Christine beat the shit out of Natalia.
This is my favorite.
How does does he describe it with his great stories?
This
No.
act out would put any comic out of business.
This guy gets down on his knees in his house on the carpet.
And my favorite, he goes, "Have your cameraman put the camera down
He's
here.
like, lower
Have
the
your camera.
he's
Lower.
like, lower the camera. Get it on me.
Lower. I'm
By the-
about
like,
to show you
By the
some
way, like they
shit."
would shoot over his head. They're like, sorry, we have to shoot just where
We
we're
missed
at.
it. Do it again. We missed it.
So this fucking guy starts punching his floor
He hacked out it.
as hard
so
as he
good.
can. This is
Why not fake it? He was hitting
easily
the floor.
hitting his carpet. You could easily pull the punch, and then after he looks at his hand. He's like, oh.
He goes, "Ow."
You're punching your carpet as hard as you can, you fucking weirdo.
Oh,
That scene, I
hate
was
him.
like, that is the craziest. That's somebody who's unhinged would do that.
He's absolutely unhinged.
He ground and pounded his carpet. I was so wanting him to show up in the next scene with a cast, like a hard cast.
Yeah, like
on
this,
his
just
hand.
all.
Like I broke my hand punching my carpet for an unnecessary act out.
I hate it.
This detective guy starts getting in on the case, and he's like, something's amiss here. I want to solve
Yeah.
it. He's trying to figure shit out. By the way, he tells Michael, because Michael's like, I have an old phone of Christine's.
Oh, yeah.
Detective, this is the line from the detective, verbatim. We have people at the FBI, and we call them the nerds, who can try to retrieve anything on a phone. This fucking local cop. Hey, let's call the nerds in.
Guys, this is a case for the nerds.
This is
don't
the
you
guy who
think?
could like access a phone or a computer. Like,
And his
fucking,
son looks at him like, "Me?"
Hey, thanks a lot, nerd. Fucking dork.
fucking bully cops.
Another great part.
Hilarious.
Michael he fires up the movie popcorn machine in his living room.
Oh, yeah. This is us. This is who we are. We're movie people. We watch movies.
And
this was what we did while Natalia stood in the corner and shit on herself.
On cue, who comes up from the basement when he smells the aroma?
The kid.
Jake comes up from the dungeon. And
There's no windows down here, Dad, so I can smell that.
And he's like, look at Jake. He came up for the popcorn. Just the two of them eating it there. And Michael gives a very weird rehearsed speech to Jake about how
it's so uncomfortable.
How he's
to
back
watch.
in his life, and the Jake I believe is on the spectrum and he doesn't know what to make of it. He's just standing there staring at him.
At that point, he did look uncomfortable.
And
like
Michael hugs him and he just
possibly
stays so rigid.
Aspergery. Yeah.
He's like this.
Well, he did eventually, but he was like, "And what did you call me when I showed up in New Orleans? You called me Dad. I didn't think I'd hear that word."
How many
this
times
fucking guy
did Michael weep during this?
Too much. It should be a drinking game. If anybody
Oh,
watches it, every time he cries,
Have an
shots.
EMT on hand, you'll die. This guy openly weeps a lot. Jacob,
so bad.
They keep doing interviews with this guy, Jacob, the kid, and he's
Poor Jacob.
clearly uncomfortable, and the producers are like needling him.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
give the guy a fucking break, man.
They're using Martin Luther King Jr. quotes to fucking
They're like,
bait
he
him.
said
I'm
the
like,
truth.
what are you doing?
So he shuts down. He starts talking about. He's like, I don't want to get into that about my mother. He goes up to talk to his dad on the stairs. He gets hot mic'd. He's got a mic on. He doesn't realize.
By the way, they can't use that. That's not.
They
I got
did.
mad.
They did use it.
But-
By the way, at the very end of it, he goes, "Fuck, my
Yeah.
mic's on."
Exactly. A normal response. I'm such an idiot.
They keep mentioning the mom in the stairs. I think she threw Natalia down the stairs or something.
And
Or
we're not
kicked
going
her
to
down
talk
the
about
stairs.
that, right? We're not going to talk about.
He's like,
Mom threw Natalia down the stairs.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, my mic's on." Damn
Throw the
it.
baby out the window with the hot water.
I love when the dad starts trying to take the mic off, and he's like, "There's some buttons here. I don't know. Just
you
pull the
see?"
fucking wire, you idiot. They're not that complex."
Are the nerds down there? We can't get this out. Idiot.
They have to talk. They keep showing all these Zoom court cases.
Right.
With this prosecutor who keeps getting pissed off at that guy.
Well, I
No,
don't
the
know
defense
who
attorney.
he was.
He keeps getting pissed.
But he's trying to protect the courts, and fuck him too.
No,
because...
he was Christine's lawyer, and he keeps screaming at people.
Oh.
So they have a doctor on, and they're like, "We're not going to use her age. It's not allowed." And the doctor's like, "So you're not concerned about the truth?" And he's like, "Excuse
That's
me,
right, yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, I
How
am concerned with
dare
the truth.
you?"
But you're not, because clearly you're eliminating evidence that is so important.
He's concerned with winning this case and getting
Exactly.
getting paid.
Exactly.
Let's call it like it is. They have so this is the son goes into a confession here, where Natalia was peeing all over the place. Christine orders
good.
Jacob to piss on Natalia's bed. Why didn't she do it, by the way? Just the power,
It's easier to point
power and
for a
manipulation.
boy.
And then
And manipulation, sure.
Jacob is very disturbed telling this.
You know we have trouble aiming when we pee, right?
And he can stand on top of the bed. Is it that crazy?
Ah,
You
but
pee
then
into
it's
a
on
toilet.
your feet. It's on your feet. With
Well,
a guy can
Wear
more like a hose.
Wear
if you will.
galoshes.
You're an idiot.
Jacob said he felt like a Nazi following orders. Like, whoa. Jesus.
That was quite an interesting analogy,
Yeah, I was
but
like, "Hey."
but I get it. Like
Yeah.
we were just following orders
From Christine. And this
from
is where
this kook.
Michael gives a, "We were all abused!" And he just starts weeping for 5 minutes. Michael says he was sexually abused by his wife.
Yes.
And he
Was I? But because she withheld it from me.
That is not,
That's
not
no.
sexual abuse ever in any
I
definition.
don't know what. Maybe he should talk.
He goes, "Was it concrete sexual abuse? Was I?" No, she would withhold sex. That's
what a
not,
fucking idiot.
That is not abuse, my friend.
That's abuse, but not sexual abuse.
It's not sexual abuse.
It's not sexual abuse in any way, shape, or form.
He said, because I was like, "This is great." He's like, "She never came on to me. She never told me I was attractive. And I got a wee bit addicted to pornography. And she would use it against me."
Whatever he was addicted to must have been so insane.
Oh, how many guys
what
were
if
in those
it was
videos?
like dwarfs fucking? What if it
Who
was
knows?
that? Uh-oh.
They should have brought the nerds in to check his hard drive. So then, this is where things go off the rails.
Oh, now they go off the rails?
Yes.
They're off the rails. There's no fucking
It goes
train.
further off the
the
rails.
train blew up.
Christine starts sending nudes, and they're showing them on this dock. They're showing nudes from this lady. And this lady's not hot, by the way.
No.
She's like a 50-something-year-old housewife. Michael describes her as like a smoke show. He's like, I'm the ugly one.
Love is blind,
and he's
my
like,
friend.
Love is blind. She's attractive, and she knows it. And I was like, wait, she is? I'm not seeing it.
She's not terrible, but she's built okay. Like, you know.
The picture she sent, and she's wearing like, as Teeb said, and we were texting.
Teeb would have fucked her.
They look like 1940s and 1950s swimsuits, what she sent. But they kept showing.
I've seen Teeb's exes. He would have fucked her.
She keeps putting her leg up on one of them. They kept showing that shot. Like, by the way, their still shots were driving me crazy.
Yeah.
For Natalia, they only had like 3, and they kept showing the same 3 stills over and over. Yeah. One was like crazy. One was like.
Mental, the bad haircut. That's like, not her fault. Her mom cut the fucking hair like that.
Stop showing me the same. They need footage, but I'm like, get something else. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But Christine, they're showing these hot pics, but she's going to Michael's Dropbox.
Which is so dumb. I mean, I'm not tech savvy,
they
but
said Christine, very not tech savvy. All her nudes that she's sending out to random dudes are going to Michael's Dropbox. He's looking at them. He's like, oh, look at this.
They're going to the foster care's Dropbox.
Ooh, thank you.
We're looking to adopt.
Thank you, the cloud. She starts sending Michael nudes. And basically, like, if you say I get all the custody in court.
Yeah.
And you
this is again back to the sexual abuse of Michael.
And you give me an amenable divorce. Like you can get this. This fucking idiot agrees to it. For these shitty sex pics he's getting. They're not even good.
I'm hooked on her pussy and porn doesn't do it for me.
You already had it. 4 times when you were married, however many times.
Get a cock and you'll be fine.
I was a cock. This guy caved on that. That's all it took. Is shitty sex pics from a woman you were already with? Michael,
I can't.
Come on. Go punch your carpet. Go rub one out.
Get your aggressions out by beating the shit out of a carpet.
Go to a milking party. Go to the farm.
Go back to the electric fence.
Go stick your
Lean on it.
Go stick your dick on the electric fence.
Put your balls on that electric fence. That'll be fun.
Can you pull up some of these nudes? Because they are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we had that. Look at him, his outfit. He does have the better neck on the shirt.
Yeah, I don't even know where you buy that.
Yeah, you buy it at fucking Idiots R Us.
Christine is what a sexy lady.
Yeah, Christine's nudes.
I don't know if you can show them unblurred, but they blurred them on the thing.
Slightly though, you could still kind of.
Man, look at that smoke show.
She's not like there. She looks scary that first shot.
Look at that set. They robbed that set from TLC.
Shit.
That's a TLC John and Kate. Oh, that's 60 Minutes.
Is that Natalia down there, the dwarf, or is that something else?
No, that's like a porn star.
Oh, okay.
I would think.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Oh, this is a case of a 9. She said she was 9. Oh wait, no, this is her.
Dwarf 9 dumped by parents who claimed she was 22 years old.
Is that her?
So
the bikini?
Speaks out. Oh, that might.
Oh, she did a Dr. Phil interview.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I saw. Yeah, I did watch that.
Look at Michael. Look at that mug shot. Does he dye the rest of the beard, or is he just only gray in that area?
He could be only gray. Do you dye yours?
I don't dye
it. I
should.
Little salt and peppery.
Yeah, I'm getting
She
older.
doesn't look good there. She does not look good.
That's not
there.
one of the sex pictures.
But is that her? No, see, I don't know. But
Christine's so hot with that bleach blonde hair. Christine. Is that Whitney Cummings?
Oh, Jesus.
Look like her.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, if you can't find, but at least there with Dr. Phil, she has a walker, like a normal.
Well, I think
nice
that new family.
Walker. Thank you, Cynthia, and your sweet family. Yeah, they were calling you white trash, and maybe you are. And that's
Did you notice
fine,
in
girl.
the court case they kept
she
kept walking across the street. I'm like, is there no handicap parking?
Possibly
they kept showing her walking to the court.
No, the courts don't have handicap parking.
I guess
obviously,
not.
And they can change your age without batting an eye.
One of Michael's best act outs in this, besides the punching, is he claims Christine coached Natalia on what to say to strangers.
Yes.
And he said, I'm going to have to do the voice. Let me get some water.
Now he's doing impressions.
This guy's doing characters.
Give me water.
You take a sip of water. And he's like, I'm going to have to do the voice. I mean, this is how she talked. I'm not making fun of it. And he says, hi, I'm Natalia. I may look young, but I'm actually 22.
But he started doing her fingers.
And he's like, I'm 22 and I'm dangerous.
He's like, this is how she used her fingers.
I tried to kill people. They did say she would be very open about stuff like that. The neighbors.
It was in her. It was warped. But people tell you, you know,
you are something.
Your parents can fucking really do a number. Your brain is a sponge, and they can put whatever they fucking want in there.
And I think this Christine was a master manipulator.
Yeah.
I think she was really playing games.
And then the kid did grow up kind of creepy because she
very,
had no guidance whatsoever.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Michael, great weeping confession. I couldn't stand up to that woman.
No, I could. With time and distance, I could.
But then later,
no,
he
you
sa-
can't,
then later he
pussy.
says he can't.
Yeah, of course he
said
can't.
he was lying.
He folded and signed the papers. He's an idiot.
So they do get charged, like I said. One of her as a child abuse, and then one is a dependent with a disability for whatever.
It's not enough. Whatever they got, it wasn't enough. To be quite honest.
The weird voice lawyer is like, in Indiana, you're responsible for a child until they're 21. Did they change the age to 22 to try to avoid that? That was a big point. The detective flies to fucking the Ukraine. Is that on a cop budget, or is this an Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop doing his own
Doing his own thing. But
they do a DNA test on the mom.
They had to. I think they had to.
Where was Maury, by the way? You are the mother.
And she comes out dancing with her walker.
They find the mother's age. They get a birth certificate, and they realize the mom, if Natalia were to be an adult, which they said she was, would have been 10 years old when she gave birth to her.
Right. So, I mean, listen, maybe this early puberty thing runs in their family.
But they
she
won't
was able to get pregnant at 10.
But the courts will not let the age be a factor in this case. They say that cannot be discussed.
I can't. I'm telling you, this kid could be a multimillionaire. The lawsuits. I mean, I'm not trying to get Cynthia all excited, but get that money, girl.
I think you're in on
Get
it.
that money, girl. Send me a cut.
So then, Michael, by the way, when they ask him about the DNA test of the mother, I wasn't there. I didn't administer the test. I didn't see the test. It's like, dude, come on. It's a DNA test.
Was he involved in this marriage at all?
I don't know.
He literally has no say. Nothing.
Michael, so then we go, October 2022 is Michael's big trial.
Yes.
His trial is before Christine's, which is lucky for him, I think.
Absolutely.
How good were his lawyers? And by good, I mean terrible.
And he was like, this is the only place I feel safe. Yeah, because they're crazy.
When he's like best friends.
So are you.
He becomes best friends with one of the lawyers.
Yeah. He's like, we could beat this. We got this.
One of the lawyers looked like a black Brian Holtzman. Do you agree?
Yeah. The one that was eating, and they took the food off him because this is serious.
They're eating donuts. The guys, they have a plate of donuts on the conference table. Black Brian Holtzman's like, yes, donuts. Grabs one. The main attorney, put that down.
What?
He's like, what?
He's got jelly on his face.
I said, put it down. This is a serious case. Why are there donuts on the table? You're not allowed to eat them? They're display donuts?
Everybody's abusive. We're all abused.
The guy was so hurt that and he did put it down.
He did.
I would have kept that.
That's not it.
These are just lawyers named Michael Barnett, but some good options.
The wig, the black guy with the wig, that's awful.
Black Holtzman is a great comic, by the way. He put the donut down. I would have been fuck you.
I would have been like, fuck you. You put these donuts out, dick.
But later they're eating pizza. They're drinking beers while they're waiting for the results.
Yeah, it's just.
That's the main lawyer. That's his best
so
friend
mean.
right there. That's his new lady. Is he married or is his new girlfriend? You can't. Michael Barnett's not going to stay single for
They're
long.
not. No, I mean, he's on the market. People are jumping in.
He's hot.
He doesn't need to get a dating app.
And he's like, look at my
they're
wife.
They're just going to knock on the door. Was that Trump in one of the pictures?
Yeah, Trump and Michael Barnett are best friends.
Barnett's lawyer with Trump looked like.
Oh, Jesus. yeah. Look at him standing there. That's the donut guy.
No, it's not.
That
him.
looks like
it's
Lavelle.
Michael Barrett.
Oh, yeah.
Some political guy.
That's funny. Yeah.
Donald
that looks
Trump
like the
was there.
Lavelle.
He said
What's his name?
Crawford.
Yeah, Lavelle Crawford.
So Michael, when he introduces his lawyers, it sounded like he was doing like sports introductions. It was great. He's like, I got my main man, so and so. Then they bring in like this white guy, a young white guy to balance it off.
High school basketball team. He's just bringing them out on the court. And next up.
So then Michael he's so creative as an interview. I'll give him that.
He's super creative.
This guy goes to the backyard, picks up an aluminum bat.
Oh, God.
He's holding the bat on his shoulder.
Swinging for the fences.
And he's swinging the bat a little bit. He's like, in 3 days, He's like, when they toss us a softball, we're going to crush it. And he just swings the bat.
We're going to know where it's coming. We're going to know where it's coming from.
He swings the bat. And then the next scene, he's got the bat on the shoulder doing the interview outside. He talks about not being able to talk about his kids. He whips the bat like 20 feet. Then says, sorry for throwing it. I'm a thrower when I get mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a guy who clearly has never abused anybody. He won't hit anybody. Fucking freaked out.
He's also not going to see anything coming from every direction. If he's throwing the bat like that, he's obviously frustrated.
So the two youngest sons won't talk to him at all. The oldest
Right.
son wouldn't until recently.
Yeah.
He says, if my young sons were to pull up right now and you were to say you could only talk to them for 5 minutes, exchange pleasantries, they'll give you a smile. But they say, but you're going to lose an arm. I would say, where's the machete? It's like,
Natalia has
this guy is so phony. Yeah, it's under her bed.
Look under the mattress.
So Michael finds out that Christine and a guy from the autism warehouse they hang out in,
Right.
that they're running.
He didn't see that coming.
They're talking sexy. In 2006, they're really sexy. He said, Michael's reaction, I hit the floor crying. This guy fell down on the floor. So then she's, I guess, making out with a handyman, and she's fucking him in a car in a
This
local
all makes
McDonald's.
sense. Look, everybody's horny. The whole family's horny.
Local McDonald's parking lot
Yeah.
sex is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
As an adult, you're not 18. Freddie Gill, who's maybe your favorite.
Freddie Gill, top of the line,
Maybe you're-
greatest. I never heard of him.
He's a little
I know
person.
he's a country star.
Little person, they say / country star.
But now I have all his music downloaded.
He's in like a Little Rascal electric thing.
Exactly, like normal. You're supposed to have
Well,
those things.
this guy's a star.
Well, that's true too. That's his chariot.
He's high maintenance.
Yeah, it's just high maintenance.
They lift him up in that with wires when he comes out, like Garth Brooks.
They spin him down like Pink.
He has a song called Ladies Man, which they play the intro on.
Amazing. I looked it up immediately.
Christine
Great
starts
song.
texting him, like looking to fuck. But I think all she's doing with
She's
him,
like, listen, I could sell you something.
she's just planting info on him for her court case. That's all she's doing.
Of course. And then she also started throwing Natalia at him.
Well, she's saying you need to date Natalia, but that was only to prove that she was an adult. She was trying to do that. And then she said, oh, and by the way, because it gets to later, they say, oh, by the way, this Freddie Gill says some bad stuff about you. And Michael's like, I don't want to listen. And the lawyer was...
I was hoping he'd show his hog because he talked about having a big hog.
He kept talking about it. He talked about loving to eat pussy, too.
And I'm good at this.
He probably just...
This guy's my idol.
He just wheels
Freddie,
right...
give me a call. I'll wear the pigtails.
He wheels right up to it.
Yeah.
But they say, Michael, we got to show you this on this computer. He says,
Yeah.
whose computer is this?
Yes.
The guy's like, mine?
You just want to make sure you don't mind if I throw it.
And he goes, how many pieces do you
I'm
want
a
to back
thrower.
in?
Yeah. How many pieces?
The guy gives up, please don't. So Michael watches
It was such a great off-camera moment.
They
Please
cut it
don't.
off quickly, but I think basically this guy was insinuating that Michael was boning Natalia.
100%.
That Christine-
they did
but
sexual
Christine
things
was-
that Christine
I think she was,
illustrated.
I think
or
she was
orchestrated,
feeding
whatever.
that to this guy for trial purpose. I don't know. Who knows what happened, but that's what she's saying.
But I think it's possible that it really happened.
It could.
Because the way Michael was talking to Natalia in the videos, when he would do the video, like, what happened? Tell me what she said. Like, yeah, he was following
Yes.
Nazi orders, whatever the son said. But they were all being brainwashed or whatever, puppeteered through this crazy lady.
Michael at this point says, I'm still not ready to stick up to her. I hate this. Starts weeping. He talks about his third suicide attempt. Great quote here. As close as I've been to a third...
He's not good at anything.
close as
this
I've been
guy.
to death since my second one.
Oh,
Yeah, it seems to make sense. He had a breakdown, he said. The infamous...
he should, though. Like, to be honest, like, he
Yeah.
should be having more breakdowns than this because both of them are in the wrong. The courts are in the wrong. There's so many wrongs here. None of them make a right.
Michael's not guilty. His mom and current lady basically have to hold him up as he weeps walking
When
out
he
of the
was
court.
crying and holding her, like, in his chest, I was like, oh, my God. Or she was holding it. No,
Him. She was
he
like breastfeeding him, the
he was-
girlfriend.
Yeah, his head
His
was
head
down,
was
and she
in-
was just holding him, and then she looked up. She gave the look up to make sure the camera was catching it. She did give the fucking look up. I almost punched her in her face.
Michael keeps saying, like, I'm vindicated.
But I don't want to hit the...
And they have legal
TV.
experts say, I wouldn't call it vindication. They couldn't use the age. And they had a juror say our hands were tied. We wanted to have him guilty, but we couldn't.
Our hands were tied. How do you think Natalia feels? She's been tied her whole life.
You know, production was loving that. They're like, oh, please expand on that. 'Cause they hated Michael behind the scenes.
They hated Michael. They hate everybody. They hate themselves for doing this documentary.
Christine, not to be outshined by anybody, when asked to comment for this, how good was her comment? Scale of 1 to 100. 100 being the best comment maybe ever.
I'm going to say 110.
So this is the ID Network, who she's talking about.
Right.
Her quote, and they put it up on the screen.
Just real
In
quick.
quotes, your network is whack.
This is the only logical thing Christine said the whole time.
Middle-aged
by the way.
woman, your network is whack.
Yeah, but she's getting felt up and fingered in McDonald's.
And Discovery's like, wait, what about?
Do you think she
what
goes
about
to
HBO? What about Max? Huh? Is
you
Lynn
think
up
she
there?
goes to the McDonald's bathrooms to get laid because she misses her McMansion?
And she says, your Big Macs are
Nothing.
whack.
All right, nothing on that one.
She fucked Black Holtzman, the lawyer. Put that donut down. He's like, I'm gonna go fuck Christine. Christine is found not guilty. Said didn't have enough evidence.
It was thrown out, right?
Yeah.
Sickening.
No justice.
No justice for this kid. I really, really hope that they sue. I mean, yeah, she's still a little scary, but it's because when you're raised or not
Circumstance.
raised,
She was abused.
you're not raised, you're abused, you're manipulated, mind fucked your whole life. Not good.
When I think if you're not getting, she needed a lot of attention, obviously. So I think when you're not getting it,
she needed something, anything.
yeah. So
She could have used just the minimal attention.
and I think they were
she
just
would have
trying
been
to
fine.
get rid of her. Very sad.
Yeah.
Very bizarre.
Very, very sad. Very,
bizarro story.
but you should watch it for entertainment
Oh,
value.
this
for
has
sure.
like the Tiger King kind of vibe of like, man, there's a lot
And
of
Michael-
good characters, a lot going on.
Michael, if you're listening,
I hope
I'm
so.
sure you are.
I'm a huge fan.
We will write your one-man show.
Oh.
We will help you.
Yes, I'll punch it up.
Jeff
I'll
will punch that.
I
and
want
the
I want
carpet.
at least a 10-minute carpet scene as the open
Actually, you come down to the stage on a carpet
and punch it.
while you're punching, and then we open it.
And then you talk about your wife's sexting pictures and how she fucked guys while you were married. She fucked the handyman.
Yeah,
Classic.
sickening. I hate them all.
Even Natalia?
No.
What about Jake?
I don't
What about
hate Natalia,
Jake
and
in the
I'm-
dungeon?
Poor Jake in the
He's
dungeon.
the victim as well.
I agree. I feel terrible.
He
Jake
can barely recite pi now. They said he's regressed. They're like he's like lost some of his genius.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This kid could have been something gigantic. Like he
Yeah.
could have done something great with his life,
Yeah.
or contributed something great to the world. Instead, he got stuck with parents who contribute nothing to anything.
He has to hear about how horny his mom is.
Right. His mom's hoeing it up. Is she in Canada or is she back in
Your
India?
network is whacked. They're like, all right, use the nudes. Roll the nudes on that one. You want to talk shit about us? Okay.
I love it. I love it. It's
Do you
so
think
bad.
ID is whack? Do you agree with her?
I didn't even know what it was. So obviously,
obviously?
it's wickedy whack. Is what I was gonna say.
Who do you think deserves a spin-off documentary?
The dad.
The dad, but I think Black Holtzman maybe and
Black
his donuts.
Holtzman's good with the donuts. Like wow.
Put that donut
You put them
down.
out. What the fuck?
Humiliated him.
It's just every law firm he works at, he gets yelled for eating donuts or
Or
eating
just different
what's on the
food.
table.
Hey, that pizza's not for you. That's for the other. That's for the partners.
Yes.
Put it down. And you'd already eaten some of it. So what's the point of putting down a half-eaten donut?
He would be good. I'd like also maybe Cynthia, a spinoff on Cynthia, that
Nata-
family.
Do you know, by the way, bombshell update?
Okay.
This did so well. This did I think 3 million on ID, which is crazy.
Whoa.
Like this is a big
You
documentary.
say 3 million views or 3 million
Viewers.
viewers? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Only 1.5 of those are little people. No, I don't know. But Natalia, this was such a big deal.
Not good, Jeffrey.
Natalia is doing a tell-all with a part 2 of this 2-hour tell-all because they don't have her at all in this.
I can't wait. Natalia, if you want to come on, we can.
Yeah.
Come on. I'll wear the pigtails.
She's a fan of yours.
I hope so.
Go do a
get a lot
show
of
in
good fans.
Lafayette, Indiana.
I have done. I think it was that. I
Really?
forget the area. We were on a boat.
Did you carry a gun at all? What on a boat?
It's a whole thing.
You did boat comedy?
It was weird. It was like a docked
Was
boat.
this Kid Rocks?
No, it was me and Andrew.
Just a docked small boat,
me
or like
Andrew and Wheels. It was gigantic. It was big. I can't remember exactly.
Like a casino boat?
Yeah, like those kind of things. Like it wasn't Gary and I can't remember. I told O'Neill and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know where that was. I know exactly where that is." But I remember this. It was the first time I had Cracker Barrel.
I've never had it.
It was the only time, first and only.
Was it good?
Terrible. And then we went to do the show. The showroom was gorgeous. We couldn't believe it. And on the boat.
I'm assuming you're on a river, correct?
Yeah. And so then is that it? No. Southern Indiana. Everybody kept referring, like, we're from Chicago, because, like, Chicago's right next to it or something. And I'm like, oh, you're an hip city that has to, it's like Jersey with Philly.
Does it look like this? As nice as that?
It was nice.
It
could have been that.
It doesn't look nice from the outside.
One of them, I forget the name of it. It was so long ago.
I did a
Wheels
speedboat.
was with us. So
I did a
it was
speedboat
a long
once
time
that was
ago.
moving in Miami the whole time.
Casino and Resort is this it? But that looks like it's moving.
Come see Riverboat Comedy, Eleanor Kerrigan.
I opened for Andrew there.
Yeah.
I don't
Rolling
remember
down the
what it was.
river.
It was a big place. It was giant, if I remember correctly. Is that park?
Like this movie.
It was in a not great area because I remember we stayed at like a terrible place. And Andrew
Did you
was
gamble?
pissed.
Did you gamble your check away?
No, we didn't stay on the boat, so that's for sure. We
That's
stayed kind of away from it.
Can you stay on the boat?
I don't know. Not the one we did.
Does the boat move ever, or it's just docked?
I think this one's docked. I think this one is like the Queen Mary in Long Beach. Have you ever done that? I've done.
No.
By the way, I've done comedy on the Queen Mary
Is
in
it
Long
that?
Beach.
That thing?
That looks moving though.
That looks like white supremacist.
No, that one's staying still.
This is
What's
Indiana.
That? Oh, yeah, Indiana. It was in Indiana.
Yeah. By the way,
This looks stationary. This looks like might have been the one.
This documentary caused me problems in my household.
Uh-oh.
Courtney fell so in love with the neighborhood the Barnetts lived in that she's like, we need to move to this area. And now all I have to hear is, that looks like a nice area. I'm like, I'm Jewish. I'm not moving to fucking Indiana voluntarily. I'll be more outcasted than Natalia.
There's a GED within 2 blocks.
The
There's
nosy
a bus
neighbor-
route within 2 blocks.
Nosy neighbor will be like, is that a menorah? What's going on? I'd like to talk to some of the boys. I'll have the cop at my house.
Is that a menorah or machete? What is that? Like,
what is under the bed? Is that a dreidel? This is where this lady wants to move. I'm like, it's a suburban town. That's what you're saying.
She's not moving. She's kidding.
That's what she wants.
That's out of control.
Yeah, she's like, there's a playground right across the street. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, you think
I'll be the lifeguard. I'll come
Is
with.
this the only neighborhood this
I
exists?
won't let anybody in.
So I'm moving to Westfield, Indiana, guys.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm going to get the Barnett's old McMansion. You imagine if I did? I'll give tours.
McMansion.
These are the stairs.
Never.
Christine kicked Natalia down, allegedly.
Oh, my God.
Here's where Christine put her leg up on the bathroom
I'm not
counter.
saying, by the way, I'm not saying alleged to anything. She did all of it.
Whoa.
Come at me.
Whoa.
Sue me, ho.
You
did it.
You're getting a whack lawsuit.
I'm gonna whack you. In
You
the
better
face.
get Black Holtzman to rep you.
You're trash, lady. I hate you.
I recommend this. Watch it.
I do recommend it.
Take it all in.
It was good. It was entertaining.
You got to find out if you're Team Natalia, your Team
It was
Michael.
entertaining and infuriating and every emotion.
And you wanted to get through. You wanted to see what happened.
Yeah. Like, I had a show and I was like, fuck. And I wanted to
You
get
were burning
back
through them
to-
fast. You, like it was like you started, and you're like, I'm on episode 5. I was like, what? You started watching.
I came home and stayed up all night. That's what I mean, when I went back to the hotel, I was on the road.
You have nightmares watching this shit.
I did.
before
I had
bed.
I had some bad dreams.
You end up in Ukraine.
Burnt the house down. It was a whole thing. Because they were like, how did she not burn the house down? I'm like, she can't reach the fucking stove.
She was going into people's fridges to eat Lunchables. And by the way, lock your doors if someone keeps breaking into your house. Not that hard. Lock the fucking door, Sue. Jesus.
Sue, you're in my prayers.
All right. I think that's it.
I guess that's it.
We'll
This
be
was a
back
fun
next
one,
time
though.
for Anna
I do
Nicole
like it.
Smith.
Yes, very exciting. Watch Anna Nicole Smith and join. Talk to us.
Yeah.
Send us questions.
Johnny Kerrigan, if you left a review yet,
No.
leave a review on iTunes.
Yeah, get a review.
I think we have 28, but I'd like to see that number. I'd like
Okay,
to see that number go up.
Please
That's
let
just
that
your
number go up.
siblings alone.
It's just Johnny angry. She said it was wrong. It
What if all
wasn't Rosario, it was Carol.
All
I'm
our
like,
iTunes
Jesus.
reviews are your brother's crazy rantings.
Hilarious.
All right, everybody.
Okay, thank you guys for watching, listening, rate, subscribe, do all that. Listen, hang out, refer stuff, right?
Yeah,
send
text.
requests. Yeah,
Or tweet. Sorry, not
tweet.
text.
Yeah, text
Text
Jeff.
Eleanor's number.
Fuck you.
And see Eleanor at a riverboat near you. Best barge comic in town.
Eat shit.
Large barge, Eleanor Kerrigan.
I forgot the places I'll be, but check my website, Eleanor J. Kerrigan.
Most of them are on water.
Yeah,
or
shut
near
up. No. Look, I even skipped it. Kansas City's good. Kansas City on the 28th.
It's always good to do it at the very
29th.
end of the show to do your plugs.
And I'll be in Montreal. All right, bye. I didn't put any of those up.